We go.
Here we go. So for the last 27 points, I just thought we should just like tweak the format a little bit. And that's what we have done today. So previously in one of the sessions, I was sharing about my journey through Gurukulam and how all this came to be. As a parent who had a list of demands of what I wanted for my children. And from that list also was 108 things that I want to raise my children to. And from that 108, that same list, when we asked AI, can you take this list and tell us or give us reasons why a child does not need a Gurukulam, why a parent should not put their children into Gurukulam? Brilliantly, we are just sharing half of that list today. So there are 54 points that will come up. And each of those points has a value of half marks. Okay. So let's see. We fight for half those points, right? Which will add up to 27. And we'll have a timer today. For every point, we speak 2 minutes to and fro, right? You can just jump in and start talking. I know it'll be chaos, but then we can be respectful enough to give a minute each to each team to speak about the point. And then we decide which team gets a point. At some point in time, we will not be able to keep score. So we're requesting the audience here to keep score for us, right? So Team Skanda and Team Nutanma will be called the For Gurukulam team. And Team Raiva and Team Bharaji, along with me, will be called the Not For Gurukulam team. Okay, so it's going to be either for or not for. So the for team, how many points you get, and the not for team, how many points we get. We'll all put it together, and at the end of the session, we'll be able to decide which team wins. Okay, so yeah, may the best team win. And let's start. 108 reasons why the Gurukulam is not for your child. And in the last 27, we start with.
Yeah, so I'll share the screen. Skanda, you keep the timer ready.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
They might become too self-aware and emotionally intelligent, is what we say. Yes, once the timer's on.
My app is hanging a little
It's
bit.
okay, leave it. Yeah.
There
So
we
what?
go. Timer is starting. We have 2 minutes, right?
What do we fight?
What do they do with their entire life? Trying to find purpose. Who am I? मैं ऐसा क्यों गाने का कोई there's been
मतलब ही नहीं रहा ना, मतलब no emotional. They're not going to come back crying to me as a parent. They're not going to have their, really, really down, depressed times.
Okay. Since we don't have time, I'm going to cut you off all the time, but that is a very incorrect view of what emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence does not mean being cold or not feeling your feelings. It means knowing how to go about what you feel and making a good choice, even if the choice is to be in the moment and feel what you want to feel. So yes, they will still go through doubt and pain and all of that, but they will be more equipped to deal with them.
How much of
Just give
self-awareness
up,
do you
man.
need?
Like,
Yes, seriously, if you have so much self-awareness, what do you seek? There's no seeking
what
left.
do you seek? No, self-awareness is knowing where you are on the map. It's not knowing where you want to go on the map.
Okay, it didn't even take 2 minutes for that. Come on, my team. Convince people this is so true. You should not send your child to Gurukulam.
No, what will parents do as what do you call the managers, caretakers? What will the purpose of parents be if the children are they know where they are? Where will I put them into? Whom will I take them to? Which guidance will I put them on?
Parents' purpose has never been to be a manager or a caretaker to begin with. If you look at the parts of parenting that can be a pain, those are the parts that come from trying to manage and caretake, right?
We will lead to economical crisis. Imagine how many industries will close down, how many therapists and counselors will have to close their office.
We have already spoken about the fact that branding, personal branding, and entrepreneurship is the way that we are going to go about it. So yes, there's going to be a change either ways. This is going to help us embrace that change more, and that's time. Thank you for my point.
Correct.
I forgot to change that.
Okay. Okay. Four team gets a point, gets half a point, sorry. Half a point. The next one. They learn to resolve conflicts. Yeah. So this one, 4 team gets a point. Audience, I hope you're keeping score. Half point to 4 team. This one goes to 4 team. Next one. They learn to resolve conflicts peacefully, which is less dramatic. There, it answers itself. No drama. No
Yeah.
drama.
What
Yeah,
is life
that's
without
totally
drama?
It is so boring. Na, never happens, man. Come on.
Yesterday there was a street fight and Skanda ran to look at it. If there is no drama, what will you run to?
It's just
First of all, I want it to be known
Maybe-
that the fight actually did not happen, which made me very upset. Now, here is what you need to know, okay? Dramatic and drama are two different things. Yes, drama is going to happen either ways, but do you want the drama to end up in blood and violence, or do you want it to end?
Don't allow him to talk. Don't allow him to talk. If it is a conflict that you resolve peacefully, do you know what happens in the whole world and humanity turns into that? There'll be nothing else left. There'll be no conflict left.
yeah,
What
there's no
conflict-
interrelations.
Conflict will always take place.
But it'll get resolved as well. Then where's
Yes,
the
but-
news?
Where is
Conflict-
Twitter? Where are the tweets? Where is the drama? Where is the fun?
X, not Twitter. X.
X, yeah.
We call it Twitter. You're not going to call it X.
So what
See,
will
here's the
activists
thing,
do
right?
in that case?
Drama and spice is going to be there, but do you want it to hurt people? Do you want it to, okay, if you say yes, I want this to be on record, do you want to hurt people? Do you want to see
No,
people
nobody
Is
wants
this
end up
guy
sad?
is
Do
too
you want-
dangerous?
Nobody wants drama in their own life.
Wait.
You are telling that
I
Nutanma-
want drama.
Nutanma,
We
you're
want
saying
peaceful
that even your
we want
hearings
the
are
drama to
dramatic,
end in a
okay?
peaceful way.
Yeah, this kind of drama is appreciable. Like, yeah, people have the
You know
freedom
how
to be
sad-
dramatic.
how
Yeah,
sad
this is
India-
not drama.
You go
How
around with
sad
Trishul
one
in your
set of-
ears.
How sad one set of
That's
Indians
dramatic.
will be. There is no serial to watch where there's drama happening. If everybody becomes
Listen,
peaceful, who will
There
Right,
will
watch?
that's
always
not
be
the meaning
serious.
of
That's
drama
what
we're
it gives-
talking
it
about.
gives-
Even
gives
even
the
our
space
even
for
our
more
devatas,
theatre
even
and
our
acting.
devatas have gone to war to resolve things. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, well, that will happen, but that was edge case scenarios.
Okay.
No
point
way
up.
these guys get this point.
Yeah, we are getting the point completely.
No, you're
Yeah, we are
not.
getting-
Yes,
Do
I
audience
brought
poll.
the
Do
devatas.
audience poll.
We are
Do
getting-
audience
bro-
poll.
Audience poll, no. We do this. See, they
We
learn to
spoke.
resolve conflicts peacefully, which is less dramatic, right? Do we want our children to learn to resolve conflicts peacefully?
yeah. Let's showcase this one. Nutanma and Skanda, you guys are from the Gurukulam. Now let's resolve this conflict peacefully. We'll take the point.
Yeah, resolve it
No,
for us now. Yes,
That's
yes, no.
not
No, but where is
peaceful
the drama?
resolution
We
of
need to
conflicts.
Yeah, this
We
kind
spoke. We spoke the most. That's the drama.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's the
that's
index
the
now.
only.
Okay.
That's the only.
No.
You
Make
don't
the dramatic
bring
side.
up the point of who
Time
can
is up,
speak
and we are
more.
going to be peaceful people.
You
We got
don't
the point.
speak
Next.
about the point of who's going to speak more, that the guy on the other side is a hip hop listener, okay?
Okay,
Continue.
listen, we
You
got the point. We got the point because everyone wants their children to resolve conflicts peacefully. Done, agreed. But the less dramatic, that part of the statement actually gave us a point.
No. You yourself said everyone wants their kids to
Now
solve conflict
we'll do
peacefully.
something else,
You
Bharatji.
yourself said that.
Let's act like people in the Gurukulam method and let's resolve this peacefully and give half point to them. Half point के लिए क्या इतना बात करना है यार ले ले
ले लो.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah,
ले लो हाँ
Okay.
बस take
So that's one full point to us.
Yeah.
yes. Moving on.
Start a timer after the slide comes up, Skanda.
Your children will develop deep friendships with kids of all ages, not just their own.
What will I do? with
What
all
a
the
friendly
socializing?
world, really. Yes.
What will I do with all the social circles I have paid for subscriptions to? Where I take my children only to meet the children of their own age.
I can tell you there are so many social circles where kids go and don't make any friends. They're just
Oh,
forced
yes.
to be there.
Oh
Public-
yeah.
you can force
Children of Gurukulam are capable of talking topics and engaging in conversations which even adults can shy away from. That open
That's
they
true.
become, and if they don't get, and if the adult looks at them as oh so cute, how does that work out? Children of our Gurukulam have had issues because had issues with adults not being able to respect them as peers. So how do they give their opinions now? So they have learned. Yes, my child has developed how to have deep friendship, not just by age, but by the quality of what conversation is. But if the world is not ready for it, then why to raise my child that way? If it's 5 years old, let it only play with a 5-year-old child. My son today is 20-year-old. He's talking like a 50-year-old veteran, but nobody in that age will respect him for it. So why I don't need the Gurukulam? My child probably doesn't need the Gurukulam.
Then
You're talking
what
about
if
a
they
very
become too uncool? Then they'll not have friends anyways.
Okay, first
Yeah.
of all, if someone thinks you're too uncool, you don't want to be their friends to begin with. They're toxic people. You don't need them in your life. Cut them off. Okay.
See, that's the good.
Secondly,
That's the thing. I don't want my child to do that. I want my child, if they're 13 years old, to be as dumb as other teenagers, if they have to be, just to creep the peer. And if they become too wise, it'll be very difficult for themselves to dumb themselves down, use that foul language, and be with them, and therefore
you know
untrendy and
firsthand
uncool.
what kind of a son I am. You see me day in, day out. You know the kind of language I use. You know the kind of videos I watch. You know the kind of dumb things I do day in, day out. But I can still sit here and I can be this. There are personalities. A Gurukulam will allow you to build that. I can have one like this, where I'm talking in a formal way, where I'm not, where I'm acting in a certain way. And I can have one where
You
I'm
feel
being more
complete.
friendly.
Where
Do
do
not
you
talk
feel
right now.
complete? Where do you feel complete? When you're with people who are also wise, or when you're with your other friend group? Don't you feel that you're
I
dumbing
feel
yourself
complete
down? Do you
either
want
ways
children to
because
go
none of
through
them are
that?
fake. We don't make kids build fake personalities by forcing them into places.
This boy was giving such a wonderful speech yesterday, stuttering, and look at him fighting for this now. For
Yeah.
half point, he's talking like this with so much of fluidity.
Who gets that
Where's
point?
my
Us,
water?
definitely.
Us, we get it, we get it. Not for Gurukulam, we get this half point.
Yeah.
Taken.
Done.
Okay, next.
Somebody please keep score. We're too busy right now.
The,
They might become inconveniently confident and speak their mind respectfully.
Set the timer.
I'm torn.
if
Good
this
for the
kid-
child.
Yeah. See, this is what happens, right? You've seen in Three Idiots when that guy becomes very confident and still ends up getting a job. That's not the real world stuff. You have somebody who speaks their mind out. Nobody's ready to listen to those things.
Yes.
And
You
a
won't-
child's confidence is definitely inconvenient for the society. Why is Kanda quiet? I'm scared.
Exactly. If
Come
somebody
across as rude.
he's building his points. Wait, take a breath, Kanda. Till we take his point. So,
But yeah, it's very uncomfortable for parents itself. Like, why, like,
yeah,
don't back answer? Your child
Yeah,
is just speaking its point.
yeah. This
That's
is
how you can get into trouble too, right? Speaking your mind. I mean,
Yes.
respectfully, I understand. But then there are so many things about which, if children start speaking, the world will come to a standstill.
absolutely. And then this fear of when I'm speaking to somebody from the West who's got a better skin tone than me, I need to keep quiet and listen to them, will be gone.
But this is respectfully, this is what the world requires now. Everybody is trying to fit into molds and trying to please the others around them. So
Okay.
Do we get the point? That was easy.
Yeah.
He's
And-
actually bringing his point. He's not speaking his mind.
Skanda, is that the argument you're doing with the silence? But the world
I
doesn't
didn't speak for 1.5 minutes. I didn't speak my mind for 1.5 minutes, and it got all of you shook. Try standing for this point
proving a
again.
point.
Oh my God, he's taken the point. Point yours, Kanda, done. Point yours, don't be quiet. Yeah.
Did you plan?
Also, I just wanted to be known there's a place the UK tried to get mandatory service, and it's a law that they're putting on children, people who can't voice out their opinion. So it's a law essentially forced on the kids. How will they stand up for themselves in when we stay in a world where they don't learn how to speak their mind? Through this, children can actually get involved in politics and the laws that govern them. I'll continue the time. I paused it for a second. Okay.
Okay,
You
point
get the
taken.
point anyways.
Yes,
Yeah.
four team gets a point. They learn to be happy for others' successes, spoiling the competitive fun.
They don't fit into this world if there's no competition. Come on.
Do you know how competitive I've been this entire time?
Yeah, but who likes it? None of us liking it because you're competing with us and taking away all of our points.
Yeah, well, the competitive fun is there. It is, I'm having fun.
Yeah. And then, yeah,
In the Gurukulam, we see children being happy when other children win. When we did our Teach to Learn project in Hospet, we saw children in that school very happy when their classmates are able to solve a mathematical problem. So I think it's very natural in children, if you don't interrupt them till we give them an idea of competition, it's very natural in them to be happy for the other. So it's already there. But then where's the competitive fun? Whom do you race against then?
exactly. Even the carom board tournament that I was talking about earlier, right? The kids did a re-tournament because they didn't like the way they won. The winning team asked for a re-tournament because they wanted to play it fair. So
So what is your point here?
that if this is the case, we as well like, oh, okay, come on, who are they competing with? Where's the whole race thing going then?
I know. And then, yeah, what happens to all the sports?
Yeah.
Who's drawing on the PPT?
Somebody is
Okay,
really
listen.
competing with us.
It
by
doesn't,
scribbling on the
competitive
PPT.
fun is going to be there. This does not make toxic competition where people make their entire identity and ego over one game. Something that your team agreed with me in one of the last days. There's a difference between being competitive and there's a difference between being a sore loser and connecting your identity to just winning.
Tough one.
I'll mute his mic next time.
Yeah, I know. When he starts speaking, right? Imagine being happy for others and you're not able to. Oh,
Time's up. I won.
okay, done. Da. Okay.
AI is on my side.
I love the
I bought
fact.
intelligence.
I love the fact that somebody in the audience felt compelled to scribble on the screen. They learn to enjoy their own company, reducing the need for constant entertainment.
Yeah. Again, this is again
You are both parents.
spoiling all the fun for the parents. Whom will I tell them to go and make friends with? Say hello to, introduce yourself, tell your name, come to this function.
Okay,
Why
these are
do you
not
tell her at home?
not
No, after
binary. These are not binary. It's not that you can either go have fun by yourself or you can be a social, amazing person, right? It's a spectrum, right? So, would you rather have a child who can only do one, or would you have a child who has more access and more opportunities to do anything they want?
Oh, I can't imagine living a life with a child who's in the back seat of a car in a long drive and not asking me, I'm
Yeah.
getting bored, please give me your phone. I can't imagine how we can live like that with
Things that
The
are
every.
keyword is
fun is just
constant.
waste.
They don't need constant entertainment. They will need time to time, but not constant.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's the entertainment there?
Raiva, you watch one show for the rest of your life, day in, day out, 24 hours, and you won't find it fun anyways. Entertainment is not constant. It's meant to be once in a while. It's meant to be
An
something
entire
that is sporadic.
a parent validates themselves with how much entertained and comforted they can keep their child. The
Exactly.
entire
The child
validation
will still
parameter
be
only if we throw
entertained.
away.
The child
Yeah,
will
the
still be
parents.
entertained just
The
by
parent,
themselves. They
the
will be.
parent is the top of the Ministry of Entertainment department. What does a parent need to give? Entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. And now I have a child who does not need it constantly. How will a parent validate themselves? The child is just going to be happy with a bunch of
that is
phones
only
and.
unto a certain age, because the moment they hit teenage, then they have a problem with the friends and the kind of company that the
But that's okay.
child
No,
is
talking
keeping.
about your parent being silly is entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. Even that is not there.
Just to
So then,
keep the kids entertained and happy, I had to make friends with so many people in the apartment that I don't like. Now I have them as friends. I have bought an iPad. I have bought subscription to stuff that I don't need. What will I do with all of those things and all of the friends that I have made to keep my child
our
entertained?
point, our point, our point, our
Yeah.
point.
This is the first point you want that I think you actually deserve. But yeah,
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is our point. We know what we deserve. Half point ours. Okay.
no, you don't.
They might
They
develop.
might develop a strong sense of community over individuality.
Yeah. What if my child comes back and tells me Bharata is more important than my life? What will I do? I have to answer saying that Samaj Seva karega tu, right? How can I survive a child who comes and tells me humanity is more important than me? What if that happens? Isn't it a point of fear for a parent? To say that I cannot think about myself and be selfish all the time. I have to think about the world as well. And therefore, I will inculcate certain principles in the way I live, care for the environment, care for the society, care for the others. I will not support
Okay,
corruption. I will
and
not
where's the
support this.
downside as a parent?
Yeah.
Because as a parent, I'm more bothered about my child, right?
Okay, here's the thing. If you don't give to the world you are a part of, you will shell in and you won't get from the world.
But that's the thing. As a parent, most parents are that मेरा बच्चा first. दुनिया बदलने के लिए मेरा बच्चा पैदा नहीं हुआ है.
No, I get that, but the thing
Yeah,
is,
if
as
you
a
if you get
parent,
it, if you are a parent who doesn't have that, then definitely don't send your child to Gurukulam, because a child might be able to connect to Vasudeva Kutumbakam more than your own family. And you'll
well,
want your child only
if
to
you are
be.
a parent of that side, argument doesn't work when there are almost no parents like that.
Yeah, but
No
isn't it?
parents are like that, yes.
You agree?
If no
Okay,
parents
so
are
if you are a parent who wants to educate your son in Mars, then don't come to a Gurukulam. But apart from Elon Musk, I can't think of any parents of that type.
Okay, so you just gave that point to me?
No, I'm saying like you can't make edge cases of like parents who pretty much don't exist.
No,
Right?
I'm
And
talking
any
about most
parent,
parents. Most parents
any
think about
parent,
my child first.
अरे तू क्यों
yeah,
कर रही
I
है?
get
it's
my
That's
child
right,
first, but
instinctive.
I
My
don't think
child
any
first,
of them will
yeah.
say like they shouldn't have a
Instinctually.
sense of community. Parents want their kids to be a part of their
The
family.
community
We're
the
talking so
parent
much
is
about
part of.
parents wanting to send
Community
their
the
kids to
parent is
family
part of,
function. Where does
not
the
a
want to
sense
go
of
to
I
family
don't see
community
function
why
built
the
in
come
the
from?
parents
child.
It comes
will
from
have
the
a
fact that they
problem.
want them to have a sense of community in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
family
yeah.
and in the
Yeah, yeah,
state and
yeah.
in the culture.
Idiot.
Just because you could rap, you cannot take the point.
No,
Yeah,
but I made more sense.
No, he did make a lot of sense.
ma
I
definitely
don't
make
think
more
any
sense.
parent will have a
No,
problem with
we
this.
were just talking yesterday about how parents want their kids to go to social events and family functions. Parents want that because
I'm gonna
parents
give a
want their
very
kid to
real
have a sense
down to
of
earth
community.
example.
Your
Wait,
child will get a first salary and distribute it among all the people of their community. Parent will be
That
happy.
that need
Oh,
not be the case. This can
the
manifest itself
distribution.
in many different ways.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't see any parent who will have a
Raiva,
problem.
give you an example, man. Come.
so a child, let's say, who's from a very economically struggling background, wants to first give to the world before stabilizing themselves with the parent support.
No, that does not mean that.
That
It's
is
Okay.
not one
90% of
against
Bharat
the other.
today.
But it's not one against the other. It's not that, if they are giving back to community, it's not like they are not stabilizing themselves.
Exactly. It's not a binary code switch that
Yeah,
we're
it's
going to
not
go and
this or
alter the
that. Can be
algorithm. We are
combined.
humans. We are in a spectrum. It depends case to case.
A Gurukulam
Also,
will
your
lead a.
sense of community starts with the family.
Yes.
The child is going to
Yes.
put
It
their
can.
family first. There are
Yes.
layers. There is me, there is
Agreed.
my family, there is my extended family, there is my apartment, there is my city, there is my country, right?
It expands slowly. Yes.
ठीक है लेके जाओ यार.
हाँ ठीक है छोड़ो पा.
I hope the audience is keeping score
I
because
still feel we
yeah.
should have the point, but yeah, okay.
This point we should have had definitely yes. Strong
You
sense
should
of
have, but you gave it to
community.
me.
Yeah, we gave it to you.
Because we are kind.
Yeah, and we have a sense of community more than individuality.
We conflict
Yeah.
peacefully we do.
They won't understand the stress of being judged solely on marks. Ma, I want you to talk about this.
They won't understand the stress of being judged solely on marks. I'm giving you the point. Forget it. You know that.
Okay. Do you guys want to fight?
Yeah,
Raiva?
there are so many children out there who need that validation because the parent wants that validation. Where will they get the validation from?
Oh, I got a point. When there are 5 children who just come out of the exam and they all are like, oh, paper kitna tough tha na, this, that, and this child is standing there not bothering about it. What a loner.
Yeah, not comparing answers. तेरे क्या है results में अब.
Yeah, except we are talking about kids who are going to the Gurukulam. So they most likely won't be going to school either. So the logic falls
But
apart.
that child, if everybody goes to the Gurukulam, we didn't need this podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't go to the Gurukulam.
Everybody doesn't, but should you send your child to the
that point
Gurukulam?
I would like to counter because Gurukulam education is possible with home as a foundation, even if a child is going to an academical training institution. So Gurukulam is not no for a child who is going to a
Okay, that's
mainstream
true.
academic
That's
training.
true.
But that child in that mainstream academic training, standing apart from everybody else, suppose if the teacher calls back and says, why is that child not having the spirit of wanting more marks? Like, why is that thing not coming that you got only 60 this time? Next time I can get 80.
No. We are not talking about the spirit of wanting more marks. We are talking about
Stress.
being disappointed. I don't want to say things because I don't want to get dark, but we know what the stress of not having enough marks does to children in this
That is
economy,
common
and I
knowledge.
will not take this nonsense.
Okay, then take the point.
Yes.
So we go next.
But he has to reset the timer, na?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I can just.
They might become
Yeah,
too
they
good
might
at
become too
public
good at public
speaking.
speaking. If anyone sitting here is watching
Proof of
me,
the pudding.
I can hear my voice and can hear the pain in my voice because forget public speaking. This son of mine in 2 minutes is thrashing me. If any parent here wants to be in my position, then I can say, okay,
Then
most
don't go
parents
against
don't.
your son.
I'm not going against my son. I'm talking for parents not sending their children to Gurukulam until and unless they're ready to listen to this. In 2 minutes, he's pulping me out of shape. Really,
No,
parents,
you
do you
need
want to
not.
take that? Do you want to take that
Because
risk?
being good at public speaking does not means of not having manners, like me, right? You can have manners and being good at public speaking. Think of the doors it can open for a child. You can become a diplomat, you can become an influencer, you can become so many things, right? And it teaches you to be confident in how you speak. Who here doesn't want their kid to be confident? Who here wants them to be, we were talking about, someone being a loner. Imagine being an unconfident nerd whom nobody likes.
Is there a word called unconfident, or is it underconfident or
Inconfident, sorry, it
inconfident?
was
Yeah, yeah.
inconfident. Yeah.
So see, they become good at public speaking. We think of it as a skill. They become too good at public speaking. Is it a menace? Because that's where you are.
Might.
Yeah, might.
Yeah.
Might. Let me talk about the might. You were classed as dyslexic. You were classed as a person who stutters, a child who stutters, who needed speech therapy, a child who probably will never do well, probably never read books, never be wise enough. But look at you speaking today. So the might worked out in your case,
Yeah. See,
right?
here's the thing, right? Having a skill set does not mean that you're going to use it everywhere. The main thing you need to learn when you harbor and learn a skill is how and where to use it. That's the first thing you learn about public speaking. How and where are you supposed to use it? Because it has two parts. It has a public and it has a speaking. If there is no public and if there is no value in what you're speaking, you can't do public speaking.
Chah, he grabbed. What, Bharaji?
We have to up our game.
What?
We have to up our game.
Yeah, we have to up our game. He's grabbing every point.
Oh, this is
Oh,
easy.
oh. They learn to take responsibility for
responsibility.
their actions without blaming others. This is huge. This is
Okay.
huge. People get married and come back and blame their parents. You chose this one for me.
Yes.
And you want that?
There's nobody to blame. The only other thing
It's
that's left is
convenient.
God.
So we win.
You put me in
Convenience
this.
is gone. No, this is very sad.
Convenience.
A
There
parent
is
should a parent should not send their child to the Gurukulam if they want the child to learn to take responsibility for their own actions. They take responsibility for their life. They're manifesting their life experience. If you want a child, if it's difficult for you to see a child who does not blame you, does not blame God, does not blame destiny, fate, anything, and is ready to take responsibility for their own life, if that is too difficult for you, then don't send your child to Gurukulam. Where is the relationship you will have if the child doesn't come back and blame you for anything? That's
Especially,
see, the
take a
navigation,
timestamp.
the navigation and
The
the compass. Sunna, the navigation and the compass for parenting is to keep doing things so that tomorrow my child doesn't come and blame me. What do you want to do after 10th? Which stream of subjects do you want to take after 10th? That brain has not developed for a decision making faculty. But still, they ask the child to choose whether science or commerce so that tomorrow you don't come and blame me. Now, if you want to enjoy that process, don't send your child to Gurukulam.
yeah, just for this one, right? If a child is put into Gurukulam, initially the child will agree and he'll say, I'm liking it here, I'll continue here. And at the end of the 21st year or whatever, it is, why did you send me to the Gurukulam?
Okay, you guys have taken all the time. Listen, this does not mean that you will lose the navigation as a parent. As a parent, do you want the tool or the GPS of, oh, what should I do for my child to not blame me, or do you want the tool to what is the best for my child? If it's all about making sure you don't get blamed, then sure, go ahead, take the point and know that you're the most selfish parent that could be, right? Or do you want to do what's best for your child, regardless of whether you'll be blamed or not? Because guess what?
Now that you have
If
paused
the
the
child
timer, I'm
does
going to
win,
interrupt.
Now that you paused the timer, we give the
Yeah.
point to you. Yeah.
There was a parent in the Gurukulam who was worried that if the children do not take the degree exams, what if they regret it later? So the parent didn't have the confidence that the child who has gone through the Gurukulam education themselves will take
That's true.
responsibility and will not regret it. So
Thank you
parents,
for
I think, are
helping
ready
me.
right now for that. So they really
Thank
do
you for
want. It is
helping
an
me so much.
important point for
Thank you for helping me so much
people.
because you completely thrashed your own mom's point. If whether the child is going to blame you or not, the parent will still have the idea that the child is. So you will still have the thrill, and if you
I
want
didn't
that as a
trash it. I
toolset, you
added
still
on
have
to it.
that.
I added on to it. That fear
No,
is there
but
in parents. It's very genuine. So yeah.
yes, so you are saying the opposite of what she said. She said that parents will lose that tool of
Okay, we do one
navigation
thing.
because
This is
that's how
undecided.
parents parent.
This is undecided. when a child comes to a Gurukulam, they learn to take responsibility for their actions without blaming others. For this reason, if the audience feels that parents should send their children to the Gurukulam, please give a thumbs up so we'll get a vote from the audience. Okay? Who all support the 4 team, give a reaction.
Only if you're supporting the 4 team, just give a reaction. Otherwise, just you can decide not to do anything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thumbs up.
We are not saying it.
6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 5
Alright.
thumbs ups.
8.
We are still not.
Well,
half-
so 8, that's half the people we win.
Yeah. So point us. So
I'm
they
too good at
clearly,
this.
they are fine.
Yeah. Whoever is keeping note of the points from the audience, please take that as a 4 team point. Okay. Moving
You go
on.
next.
They won't experience the thrill of being bullied for being different.
I
Isn't
have
it
been bullied.
interesting?
I have been bullied. Like how will you go against it? I've been bullied in my home. Well, not in my home, not by her. That's a different case. But friends from outside my home, and
Yeah. So Gurukulam is definitely not a bully protection center.
I mean, yeah, if you have friends outside, then yeah, I mean, bullying in the Gurukulam is. Here's the thing.
Within the
Bullying-
Gurukulam, yeah, they don't get bullied. It's
No, a parent who has an idea that sending a child to a Gurukulam is to protect it from bullying, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing.
The Gurukulam makes you stronger than that. It's not about protecting you or preventing you from contacting the bullies, but a Gurukulam is a place where you develop, like we were been talking about resilience, right? So the point is that they just have a different confidence, and I think Gurukulam children celebrate being unique and different.
yeah.
So when someone's bullying them, actually they find it quite funny, and they don't relate to that point at all. But Gurukulam is definitely not a bully protection center. So yes, children at the Gurukulam will become so confident and so comfortable in their own skin that they'll not have that experience. Someone comes and bullies them, they'll actually find it very funny.
And
So-
how do you want to counter that?
Yeah.
I'm countering that because there are many people who feel that, when you get bullied, you become tough. That's how you learn how to survive. That's how you learn
That's
how to
not
fight
true.
back.
No, that's a very, very minor amount, even if such people exist. But the general awareness is definitely nobody wants to be bullied.
Yeah, so if they have this entire thing that, emotionally it's just giving you a safe space. The Gurukulam has got, children with values and virtues, and therefore you'll not be bullied, and therefore we are putting the child in the Gurukulam. Please don't do that.
Okay, 2 points. One, the Gurukulam does not take out all the bullies. It makes you strong in order to, like, even if someone comes and will tell you something, you are strong and you know that you won't get bullied. Second point, I don't have time for. So
You just put your point. You got the point anyway. Half point seems
I-
to be yours only.
I
I'm giving it to you.
forgot.
Okay, you
I think it
forgot.
was-
Go to the next one.
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, 4 Gurukulam gets half point. Bharatji Raiva, come on, don't lose this. We got this. They might become
Might
too
become-
comfortable with failure as a learning tool.
This you have to give it away, Spanda. No
You
parent,
have to give it to us.
no parent likes the child say, I failed this time, I'll learn it better next time, and I'll learn from my failure. You
And
do with all
and
the
you know
practical
that.
things that I have at
And-
home.
Absolutely. And you know that because in your batch, in your Saupranika batch, you have a batchmate. When I was mentoring, I was very, very clear that I wanted him to fail his 10th class paper at least once. Because he came after his class 5. Until class 5, he was known as an intelligent genius who would top and ace the school at all times. And around him, he had only people who looked at him as a genius and were 100% sure that he's going to dance his way into the IITs of the world. And that child had a problem with being identified that way and came and told me that cannot be my only hallmark. And now he has become very comfortable with failing at things. Do you think the parents are prepared for that?
No, and also these things, right? Exactly the point of I sent you to Gurukulam so it's also easy, it's so dicey for you, and I've given you the stress-free learning, but you still failed and you want to learn from your failure. People will not accept them. Parents will not accept saying I've given everything as a comfortable thing for you, and still you like to take failure as a learning tool. I would not accept it as a parent.
Any parent who can't afford to see their child fail should not send their child to Gurukulam.
I
I
concede.
That is a very
Yes,
tough
that point
mindset.
is ours.
Great.
Skanda
Yeah,
gave the point
please
to
take
us.
the point. No, unless Kanda, you have
I
a
do
point.
all this. I do all this, and our parents still fail me.
Because
This
see, at the end of
this
the
this
day,
is
be it a
one.
Gurukulam child or a non-Gurukulam child or any other kid, failing comes with pain, and no parent with their heart will want to see their child go through
Yeah.
pain. So the parent needs to have some extra confidence that okay, this is for their learning, but that's too much of an ask right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as
They need
parents are
to go
trying to
through.
as long as parents are trying to fulfill their life through their child, and their aim of parenting is that my child should not go through pain, the child will not become a learner. Pain is the only investment you have for knowledge and wisdom. And if pain is not allowed into the child's life, learning does not come. How many parents are okay to stand and say, yes, my child needs to fail, not to learn a lesson, but to convert that as a learning tool? Is a point. Sorry, Bharaji, please continue.
No, that's what my pain is as an investment is what I was talking about. If people are not ready to take it, I've taken the point anyways.
They
Thank-
learn to respect elders out of genuine connection, not fear. This is simply the point should come to us. I don't think anybody will, especially
Nutan Ma,
Bharatiyas.
when your enemy is making a mistake, just watch.
Yeah,
There
let's
is nothing they can do. Just
thank
let
you
them
for
try.
that tip, Skanda. I'm just sitting back now. Please
We are not making any
go
mistakes.
on.
The world knows what it is.
If you try to make a point, then yeah, you have made a mistake. So go ahead, try.
You cannot play your games on me. Come on. I know you're a play mentor and you do all of these things, but face it. What?
Uh,
Why did you not do this?
Bharat, be careful what you say, okay?
Yeah.
He's playing this move very well. Huh? He told Nutanma in the beginning, don't
Anyways,
say anything because anything they say about this is going to catch them.
anyways, the point is at risk. Let me just give it a go. So
Go
all,
for it. Go for it.
this is what happens, right? We will go to a function and the child is not touching everybody's feet and taking their pranams and all of that. And I come back home, my parents will back me for not doing it. Right?
Okay.
This is what the fear that happens. And that's what I like as a parent doing it. And then
Whacking your child?
and I'm correcting my child. Whacking my child, I cannot say it on the record. Come on.
Dude, come on. We have to edit this part. But
Okay.
no, it's okay. Fine.
If
We'll
you're an
just...
abusive parent,
Whack with words.
No, yeah, come on.
The age of gentle
That's...
parenting and all of this. I used to get packed by my parents.
Who's our guy? Take it and go.
Take it and go. Russell
There
Pitt.
you go. Russell Peters, yeah.
That
No,
it's
Falgun.
it's okay. Russell Peters, it's just like him talking about,
Yeah.
Asian parents whack their kids. We'll just take
So
it in
wait,
that
our
spirit.
point, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
forget about the whacking. They learn to respect their elders out of genuine connection, not fear. I have only one point. Where they don't have a genuine connection, it's very difficult for them to respect the elders.
Yeah.
Especially because an elder is just coming and trying to induce fear in order to demand respect and not command respect. The child of a Gurukulam might stand their feet and say no. And I'll just give you the numerical advantage right now, but I don't have a deeper connection with you. A child might stand their foot for that.
Actually, this is gonna throw away the point. If you respect somebody for in fear in their presence, you'll hate them in their absence.
Oh,
Banger
that's
quote.
profound. Bang on. We gave the point, but yeah, the last, very, very unlike when Skanda is around, someone else getting the last line. So, Bharaji, I'm very
Yeah,
proud.
I'll give you a quarter point for that.
No, it's okay. We don't want your quarter. You keep your quarter. But you know what, Bharaji, I just wanted to add something very, very surprisingly. In Saupranika batch, someone who joined very, very recently compared to the people who were there for like 8 years and all that, had this idea that everybody has respect for Mirama only because they fear her. And the fear is because she'll come and scold for anything or shout loudly. Okay. And this person actually told to the rest of the Sauparnika, I also know to scream like Ma if needed.
Okay.
And that person became so cheap in that batch itself. In the sense, the rest of the batch is like, dude, what are you talking about? So, it took a long time to rewire that because they're coming from a background where somebody elder, there is fear, and fear is the only way you approach.
Mm.
And children in the Saupranika in batch itself have taken many years to come out of this idea that where is your genuine connection? And it's not a connection that is established in fear. Otherwise, an elder in the family, a teacher, or a, even if you use the word guru, it's like fear first. Right? So yeah, Gurukulam children do learn it. Half point for Skanda. Every point they get is a point for humanity. I'm declaring that right now. It's not their skills, but it is for humanity. Nutan Maha.
Okay, our skills are there a little bit, at least a little bit.
What?
We are working hard.
No. Every
Let's
point
go
you
to the
win
next
is for
point.
humanity. Yeah, let's go.
They might become too adaptable to new social situations. How lovely.
Yeah, I'm just leaving for a bit. I'll come back.
That's a new social situation. Guys, come, let's adapt.
Yeah, this is again the comfort factor, right? I need to plan things out. If I'm moving out, for example, I'm moving from one place to another because I got a transfer or a new job or something like that. I have a lot of things that I'll plan my entire life's transition based on how I keep my child comfortable. I plan everything, pick up a locality which is close to the school, whatever it is, right? My entire planning is based on that. If my child is adaptable and they don't need all of these things, that entire fun part of me planning all of these things is gone. I don't need to look for it. I'll just settle for something which is convenient just for me. Where will
So
I?
what's your point?
I mean, for me, it's a thrill of doing all of these things, right? I mean, for me, I get the validation from the society saying these guys, when they moved to a different place, they put the whole life transition around the child, how much they thought about the children's upbringing. So where am I going to get the transition? Just these guys are so selfish that they moved to a place just because they went there, they didn't think about their children and all of that.
I'm not getting what you're talking
I'll not
about.
get the validation if the children are so adaptable to social situations and everything. I'm just giving an example.
You won't get the validation if your child isn't suffering.
No, that's how the society validates.
I don't think they validate based on your child's suffering.
Parent kid, keeping everything centered around a child's comfort.
Like you have a new social
See, you can
condition.
still keep things, centered around your child's comfort. That's fine. That's not what a new social. Okay, well,
let me
I think you're talking about something very different.
let me articulate what he's
slide
trying to
says.
say. Okay, there's a new condition that comes about. You're in a new social condition, and someone from the family comes and asks you, "Oh, how have your children adjusted? Are they okay?" And you have to say, "Yeah, they are super fine." I mean, I don't even have to think about it. Rather than the expected answer is, no, they went through problems. We are still struggling to get them adjusted. It feels more normal to say than to say that, oh, my child is so cool that they can just adapt into any social condition. Actually, we don't have a point. You have the point.
Yeah.
This is just holding up a mirror to society as it is. Really funny.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm enjoying the humor in it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm enjoying that the fact that AI could throw this kind of humor back for the yeah.
How many have you gone through?
Quite a few, and Bharaji, nice try.
I know, Bharaji, such a sweet
I
try.
don't even understand.
That's a team to have there.
That was the move to confuse me.
Yes.
You got confused?
Yes, Bharaji, we can actually do that. You did it
Oh,
with
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Start speaking in
Do
Kannada.
this. Come. They might develop an unshakable sense of inner peace. Oh, so dangerous for me as a parent. My child is having an unshakable sense of inner peace. Imagine me, I'm like throwing my arms around and why are you doing this over there? And this child is like peacefully sitting there. Like the most traumatic thing is happening, and this kid is completely peaceful inside.
Okay, let's get the
I can't see
meaning
why
of
a
peace,
parent
right?
won't want that.
No, but let's get the meaning of peace. Peace does not mean being in a monk-like state where nothing's bothering you and being like completely still and like, oh, all is well, we must carry on. No, peace can be someone panicking on the outside, but internally they are at peace. That's what inner peace is. It is something on the inside, right? So even as I'm talking now, I might talk fast, I might talk frantically, I might show feelings. I'm still at peace internally, right? So it's not something for expression. It's a state of mind, that has scientifically proven us to be better at fine motor skill, gross motor skills. It helps with our thinking, reasoning, everything. No scientist or nobody will ever come and tell you that peace is something bad for you. Doctors say that don't take stress, be a little peaceful.
Okay, enough.
Try to go and connect with nature.
Next slide.
You're spoiling my inner peace, no, Skanda.
Yeah. Point is for Gurukulam. Next slide, please.
They learn that vulnerability is a strength.
Oh, okay.
Social behavior.
Yeah. So a parent who is which parent would want to teach their child or want to raise their child being free enough to be vulnerable? I'm completely with the fact that vulnerability is a strength. I'm completely in for it, and I know that it's a very precious lesson to learn, not to navigate a social life or to be worldly wise, but this is the biggest strength in human relationships, knowing to be vulnerable and being vulnerable. My question is, how many parents would be okay with that?
You know what? I'm going to do something probably for the only time I'm going to do this. I'm going to switch sides for this one.
Yeah, this is a tough
Yeah,
one.
please.
You
Here's the
have
thing,
to,
right?
because
Yeah.
you can't
Vulnerable.
just tell parents that your child needs to be vulnerable where it needs to be. Otherwise, they're never going to have success in human relationships.
As we went from tribal cave people to the kind of humans we are now, there had to be a switch, right? And one of it is learning to be vulnerable, because that's how you build meaning, that's how you build a connection. Earlier, that was the number one thing you would not do because it puts your safety at risk. This is so asking someone to do that is literally asking them to go against their base primal instincts. And here's the thing, our base primal instincts was for a time when we were animals.
Yeah.
We are humans now, but we still hold on to this feeling from our time in animals. So if you want to cultivate that feeling, which sadly most parents do, they would much rather take the easy route of never being vulnerable, always being shelled up, always being in this perfect castle made of glass, right?
And
Most
putting
parents
a
would,
brave face on,
and
yeah, no
and
matter
teach
what.
them that being vulnerable is being weak. Failure is weak. Not showing your feelings that you should not is being weak. Choosing to do something because it's what you want to do is weak.
Yeah, there's a lot of weakness associated with it. So the very fact that, see, imagine if you're not vulnerable, what does that mean? No one else can actually touch your heart. Nothing can influence you. And you're in a place at a Gurukulam where the primary thing that you're working on is being influenced. That's how you learn. You learn if you let yourself be influenced. If you let yourself be touched by somebody. Imagine a relationship, any kind of relationship, starting from a friendship to a spouse or a couple. If the other person does not have something in them that can hurt you or that can make you happy, if you're not vulnerable enough to that, then where is the relationship? So being vulnerable, and the one who is vulnerable is the one who actually molds the other.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
never the other
crazy
way around.
because
Actually,
parents
even if
want the most amount of influence in their child's life, but they never want the child to be showing weakness, which they think being rebel, which they think is weakness.
so it usually happens, right? When you're just to look at one of the other angles. If you're going for an interview, job interview, don't show that you're nervous. Don't let them know that you're scared. But on the other side, if I am sitting on the other side and taking an interview, if the guy comes and tells me I am feeling a little nervous, I would change my entire approach to it. But not a lot of people do that. They don't come up and say that I am feeling a little anxious right now. And they'll try to put up a game face like what Nutanma was saying. And they lose the game just because of doing that, not saying what they are feeling, which they feel like it's my weakness. So I don't know
Yeah.
whose point it is.
I think we get that point because it's no,
Yeah,
it's something that I think all of us together unanimously our hearts cry out in the same way to say that it's a very sad situation for a child if the parent doesn't want that child to be vulnerable and sees vulnerability as a weakness, right?
yeah, and
Shall we take a
since
break at
this,
this point?
I'll just like to say one thing before we stop. This concept might be a little bit hard to uh, truly get, so I'll just give you a small example, right? To me, when I stutter, I put myself in a vulnerable spot, right?
You stop
I
sharing,
feel
Raiva?
okay. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, stop sharing. Okay. I feel vulnerable, right? I feel I feel like I can be attacked from it, right? So when I choose to come out here and speak, I am doing something which makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. I am vulnerable, right? But what people won't see is the strength it gives me,
It's
right? It gives me the strength to build confidence. That again and again, I'm doing something that I don't like because it's something I feel is beyond what I like and I don't like, right? And it gives me that strength. So it builds my character, right? So anytime you are vulnerable, you're putting yourself out of your zone of comfort, and that's where you can learn and grow.
Mhm.
And that's something we don't talk about enough. That's something that parents don't want to acknowledge. And it ties in with the same thing about we had spoken about a few slides ago, which was being fine with failing or using failure to learn. Both of these are things that parents don't want
Yeah.
to talk about or parents don't really see.
Yeah, because a child's failure and weakness also is considered as a parent's failure and weakness, right? So it's like my child fails, I fail. So I can't afford my child to fail.
Yeah.
Because until and unless you learn how to fail, you don't become a leader.
True. If it's a reality also, right? If a kid has got a backlog, the parents don't want the kid to go and announce to the world that I have a backlog that I have to clear next. Hush it up as much as possible and give a reason that, oh, I could not attend because I had a function to attend, or I felt sick or whatever, without telling that I failed, I'm gonna retry. Nobody appreciates a child accepting a failure. But anyways,
Yeah, we come from a culture where we clean every part of our house anytime a guest shows up, even parts that the guest is not going to look into. So, how will we show the unclean parts of ourselves?
Oh, where does he get these lines from? I just, before we go into the break, I just wanted to share something. When we went with the children for the Teach to Learn project, Uttishta Bharat at Hospete, in the hotel that we were staying, we saw the party hall with a big notice board. There was a kid's picture, 18th birthday celebration and NEET exam qualifying felicitation or something like that. The birthday was not the celebration. They were just celebrating the child for passing the NEET exam. So I took all the little ones who were with me. When they saw it, they found it so amusing that the parents was actually celebrating and giving a party for that. And the best thing that happened was, Manu turned towards me and told me, "Mirama, so sad for that Anna." And I was like, "Yeah, so yeah, it's too risky. You'll have a Gurukulam child who does that. Will turn back and say, oh, you came first in class. So sad for you. Now you'll identify yourself with this success for the rest of your life, and you will not have faith. You lost yet another chance. So it's not about going and failing in purpose, but to know that that's not a benchmark. Okay, speaking a lot, I think we'll need a small break. Can we do that?
this is our point.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this is our
Yeah.
point.
So
And now I switch back to my actual side.
So are we ready for the next slide?
yes.
Give me a second. I'll just get the timer up.
They will
Okay,
miss
let's
out
go.
on the character building experience of intense peer pressure.
Intense peer pressure.
How, how is that a character building experience?
I guess they're
Intense,
confusing character and trauma.
yeah.
This is the influencer woke generation, right? If you don't belong to something, you don't belong to anywhere. Isn't it the theme that's going on now? Which side are you on? What are you standing for? And most of these things happens because you are being influenced based on all the influencers who are bombarding you with so much of content. And if you don't associate with any one of them, what are you associating yourself to?
But isn't that contradictory? That is not a character building experience that happens. That happens in trying to mold yourself against something that you may probably not be
But when
wanting to stand for.
but when they all socialize and they all are sitting out in a coffee shop and discussing something, if you don't agree with anything, what, where are you? You don't belong to the group
I
because of
don't
that.
know how that. No, but the point is that you'll miss out on the character building. I don't know how that. I don't know how peer pressure builds character.
It doesn't.
Like
It
character building
inhibits
isn't
it.
faking who you are, right?
Yeah.
If it was faking who you are, then sure, it can teach you how to fake and be someone whom you're not. But character building is something deeper. It's who you are, not
Yeah,
who
it's
you are pretending to
expressing.
be.
We live in a world where people say बाहर जाओ खेलो लोगों से बात करो तभी तो तुम कुछ बन पाओगे लोगों से कैसे बात करते हो जान पाओगे. That's the idea, right?
But that's still building social skills is still different from building character.
Character.
What's the counter to it?
You're the one counting us.
Yeah.
Oh. So we're saying this
That's
is
what we are stating, and this is why that Gurukulam is for
Yeah,
your
that
child.
it's not character building to begin with. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it said anything else, I'd be like, sure, maybe I can counter that. But we are just saying it's not character building to
Not
begin
at
with.
all. It inhibits character building, in fact. Okay,
And Nutanma, you just disappeared. Okay.
I know something is back. So
Skanda,
it
like, where are
inhibits
you?
the
Don't go.
process. Yeah.
sorry, Reva, what were you saying?
I was saying Skanda is like, where are you, Nutanma? So we ran, so the timer went off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we have it.
pretty much. I saw that.
Please keep score, people.
We are only giving you the
1
point
point.
because, yeah, character building doesn't happen that way. That made sense. That's the only reason why we are giving.
Yeah, that's
So
what
the only
Mirama
reason
said
you
in
gave
chat.
us the
No,
point
that
is because we made sense.
yeah, Mirama said on chat, AI learns sarcasm. So it was okay. Next one.
They learn to collaborate more than
They
they
compete.
compete.
I think we discussed and lost this point when we were talking about competitiveness earlier.
Okay, I'm taking the timer off point
Just
first.
take it. We can go to the next one.
Okay, actually, you know what? Let's, for the sake of it,
Yeah,
let's just talk
because
about
we
it.
have 2 minutes, let's talk about it. What do you want to add on to it?
Was
Here's the thing, right? If you look at history, right, it's only showed one thing, that since the first human was born, whether we were monkeys and we lost our tails, or whether we were, whatever want to believe, Adam, Eve, right? So it shows a constant trend of us coming together more and more and more, right? I don't think there has been any trend in the human past where we have split up. Our groups have only become more and more bigger and bigger, right? And now we have civilizations which span continents, right? And those civilizations are now coming together to make groups of civilizations. So a collaboration is the future, right? Earlier we were speaking about other corporates, and we had mentioned that personal branding is going to become a big role. But that personal branding is also there so that you can better socialize and better collaborate, right? So it's just a trend in being human that we like to be together and work as a team.
Okay.
I don't have anything to counter, so I'm just saying that.
Yeah, we've been through this, so let's go on.
Yeah.
it develop us disgustingly healthy self-esteem.
Disgustingly.
I
Yeah,
don't know what is AI trying to say.
AI is the
this
first time
this
AI
this
ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
now, this could also be the worldview of how you look at it, right? If somebody is standing up for themselves and speaking the truth and believing in, I mean, standing for what they say, I may come across as being disgusting and not being socially accepted, being called
Rigid.
rude or whatever, rigid. Yeah,
Or, yeah.
So it's
rigid,
disgusting for
not
the other
rigid,
people.
but yeah, confident. I would say too confident. So this is what the world takes you on with. I mean, even If you say some,
which the world can't tolerate.
Okay, we
Yeah.
need to get one thing straight. Self-esteem means your value for who you are. It doesn't mean how confident you are. So this is not a matter of overconfidence. It's a matter of self-esteem. And it says healthy self-esteem. So it's not that you're saying that, oh, I'm too high value to do this.
it's not about high value. Knowing what you are and standing for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
saying
Standing for it need not, I wouldn't say standing for it is a part of it, but knowing your value and knowing your worth.
it's easier for the person to just walk out of situation that does not
Exactly.
hold in their favor. So it may be disgusting for the other person, for the world, but
I don't think people really find it disgusting. I think the
they'll
sense
take
of
offense to
adjective
it.
here is pretty
Yeah.
off.
Would people be okay with it? Being seen as this guy who is like headstrong person?
No, but again, it's just a disgustingly healthy. So, oh, look at this guy. He's so healthy the way he thinks about himself. Like, no.
That's a new compliment that we need to start practicing.
Okay,
Point for us.
point is as
Ma, they need you. Please come back.
We were not winning even otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least you were putting up a
Did
fight.
you rig the AI?
Yeah, I paid Google to.
They won't need external validation to feel worthy.
who
Okay, we I think already have
Yeah.
kind of we have this.
how? Please counter it.
You have to counter it. Yes, they won't need external validation to feel worthy. Where then how
Yeah.
will
What will you
people
do?
now relate to to feel
Okay,
validated
as a
externally?
parent, when you think of external validation and you want to validate your child, know that external validation can come from anyone. It can come from a group of alcoholics, and they're like, "Oh my God, bro, you're drinking so much. Oh, that's so awesome, dude. Come, let's drink more." That's also external validation. So when you're talking about it, we are not talking about healthy external validation. We are talking about anyone, and that depends on who this child has to be around. Imagine that the child comes from a area of town that's more rough. Who is the child going to get this exposure from, right?
Say something, Bharatji.
No, I was thinking how would then the society work for them? What are they getting from the society? What are you learning from people? What will you prove yourself for?
Yeah, because if
I
somebody
feel
is
the
coming from
idea
a rough
isn't that you need
area,
to.
if somebody is coming from a rough area, they need to be rough to be there, don't
Yeah.
they? From people's
No,
point
they
of view.
don't. No, you don't. Well, you need self-esteem and you need confidence, which are
Yeah,
two
it
things
ties
that
up
we've
with the
already spoken
previous
about.
point
Yes.
that they will choose to walk away if it doesn't suit their self-esteem.
If I'm in a rough area, if I don't show up as a rough guy or a tough guy in that situation, you don't feel like you're worthy to be in there.
Or
You'll
don't show
blend
up.
in.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You won't need to feel worthy because you come to a Gurukulam. So your sense of worth comes from inside, not from outside.
Okay.
So do we give it to them?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one then.
They might become too good at leading and following.
And following, why would somebody want their child to be following?
Is everybody wants
Every
it.
parent wants their child to follow their orders and be obedient. There you have it.
Huh.
Yeah.
And where does the
What do you want
leading
your
fit
child
in?
to go against it? Because there's some places in
It's
life where you
situational.
must
Yeah,
lead, and there are some places where you must follow. And
correct.
if you're good at both, that means you definitely have an intuition of what to do well. So
Correct.
for a parent, it's a win because then the child is going to hear you out, but then the child is also going to be a leader, say at the
What if the
workplace.
child does it other way around?
If you're good at something, if you're good at a skill, you know where to use it. That's the first thing you learn about a skill.
But why would you put it across why following or leading in any context be that important?
Why would leading or following be important? It's about opportunities. These skills like these open up opportunities. They will allow you to do more in life. If you want to become a leader, if you want to be a higher up, if you want to do sports, if you want to do so many things in life, need you to understand where you lead and where you follow. In our own team, we have seen instances of when people did not understand where they can lead and where they can take charge and where they can follow. One important thing we must talk about here is that leading and following need not always be somebody else. How will you lead yourself? How will you make a plan and a life plan and a path for yourself? And how will you follow the habits you set for yourself?
But everybody aspires to reach a leading position, right? Though a parent might want a child to be obedient, they want
And you
the
can
child to
never do
reach.
that without following. However, you yourself were, I'm not saying you wanted to be, but you sort of ended up becoming the lead of our team. And you did that through following Ma for so many years.
Yeah. But that's because I have a parent who understands both.
You'll have a mentor who understands both at the curriculum.
But what with the rest of the world? You have to actually go lead and follow.
I'm not getting your point.
A
I
person leading a bunch of followers who also want to become equally leaders just to become then it has to be an entire ecosystem, right?
Everything is pretty much built that way, right? You follow someone until you prove yourself. Like if you look at corporates, the way they're supposed to work, at least on paper, is that you follow until you are at a place where you can lead, and that's when you lead. But if you don't follow well, they will never allow you to get in the place where you lead.
Okay, anyways, our time is up. I just
Yeah,
feel like
but
if a child is too good at both, it's, I mean, I don't know. I feel a parent would want to either pick one or just usually go for the ideal, which looks like the leading part.
yeah, looks like
It's,
yeah, I mean this one I need to by saying this I'm gonna give away the point. Usually it is about this one, right? All the parents want the child to be in a leading position, be an entrepreneur, be the boss, be the one who people will look up to. But then this will only come by following, and also like the point that you mentioned, Skanda, you need to be your own leader and your own follower. So I think that takes a point away from us.
Okay.
yeah, you give points after points like this. Someone
Oh
here to
no,
list
she's
at
back.
no, no, not oh no, she's back. I've been here all the time, okay? And I know that I can thrash it down for the previous 3 points with just one sentence, but I won't.
Well,
I'm waiting
it's
to see
over.
what's
Next
happening.
slide, quickly.
No, 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 no. Let's indulge in this, marinate in the syrup a little bit. You know what the previous 2 slides are all about?
One was self-esteem. The other one I can't remember.
One was about disgustingly healthy self-esteem,
Yes.
and the second was no requirement for external validation.
Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
the reason I'm quite at this is because at those 2 points, there is a generation of parents who have changed. The new generation of parents might look at it very differently, but they can relate to their parents. You're talking about child self-esteem. You know how many generations of Bharatiyas, how many generations of us have been raised with our parents telling us, uh, you know, be humble, don't talk highly about yourself. This Vinamrata concept that is given as a virtue. Don't boast about yourself. Don't hold up your principles so high. Don't stand your feet. Underplay yourself. Underplay yourself. And that was given to us in the name of false humility. It's the same generation of parents who have not bothered whether the child is confident and healthy self-esteem. I know that's changing with the new generation of parents. That's why I remain silent at that point. And when it comes to external validation, do you know how many generations of us have been raised when our parents have told us that, you should become such a person that when you walk into a room, 4 people should stand up and respect you. Your life should be such that when your name has been told, your qualities should come to people's mind. You have been raised continuously for validation. Validation was the only parameter with which your moral compass worked, with which your character building worked. That was if a parent still has that narrative that you can go and tell your child you should become a big man, and when you become, no, you should be such a person that society should respect you, people should look and talk about this about you, and you should have these values. Continuously you're telling the child for external validation, you're preparing the child for external validation. That is why I see that when there is a huge age gap between the child and the parent, like people who have had children really late cannot really match the requirement of the child, because they are still following old generation narratives for their child, saying that you should, grow up to become somebody like this, giving them role models and, getting that validation. Role models are good, not that role models are something that you have to match with. And when I come to this point, I'm speaking because I want the new generation parents to think about it once. You send your children to leadership camps, you know what are leadership qualities. Somebody tell me what's a followership camp and what's a followership list of qualities. Because the minute you talk about followership, you start talking about conforming, being a conformist, right? Being somebody who's compliant. So if conformism and compliance is so important, are we confusing it with followership? Parents are not ready for children being followers, even though you got the point, but still. Because the minute you say, I'm a follower of so and so, it feels as if now, okay, you've got narrowed into something, you've got brainwashed into something, and this is what you're following. But the truth is, a great life is not a life where you lead yourself as much as you follow yourself. The entire idea of the Gurukulam is to, give you those qualities that you can follow the divine within yourself. The Gurukulam leaves the breadcrumbs for you to follow your own divine. So, is the world ready? No, but the point is yours. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Can't handle it.
This, yeah, I don't have answers. The only thing that I can do is make the kids shut up, don't ask these questions. Just do what I say. This is where we are. As long as we are not ready to accept those questions coming from the children, and we don't have answers that we believe that we can give to those questions, nobody wants a child to ask these questions.
Or at least build the courage to say, I don't know, let's find out.
Yeah, exactly.
The point is, parents have this idea that if they've been asked a question, they might have the right answer on the moment. So it doesn't become a fact that the parent and the child can learn. It becomes the fact that the parent has to be right, or else the child will not look up to them. So yeah, I concede.
Thank you.
This point is ours.
Now, for those who might be listening to it as a podcast, the slide was they might start asking too many profound questions. Now you can change.
Yeah.
Don't send your child to Gurukulam because they'll start asking deep questions. Great. Next one. I'll read out this one. They might understand complex scientific concepts years ahead of their peers and see science and spirituality as two sides of the same coin. So if you as a parent has an idea of religion and have a confusion between science, spirituality, religion, philosophy, etc., then probably the Gurukulam will give your child a different kind of clarity, and it will lead to internal clashes within the family. So better not even send your child to the Gurukulam.
I feel most of the clashes in the family happen because a child is exposed to the fact that they need to, you know, the child, because see, for a child, the parents want them to have a cultural identity, and at the same time, the parents want them to think with logic, right? And here's the thing, a lot about what is there in our scriptures might not follow logic, right? Like, what if a child comes back and asks, oh, in the, how can you take a blade of grass and turn it into a bomb, which was the mustard? And there were many cases where people turned grass and leaves into other mustard, right? So for a child, it'll be like, oh, how is that possible, right? But when you get an understanding of science, it helps you also understand where these things came from. Why? I won't even say if it's true, why it's true, but how it works. Right? They'll come to a more peaceful understanding, and that's when both can coexist. So the parent gets a child who can think logically and who can reason, but also a child who is connected to uh, their uh, their heritage.
This is another thing that happens, right? Parents keep telling children who speak about these profound things, don't speak beyond your age. As if you know everything, as if you've seen the entire world. So
Whom does this point go to?
I feel the logic point that I made, that the two things
Logic
parents
is not
want
there.
itself
Logic is not
counter
put.
into each
Logic
other.
is not there
No,
in that
but
point at all. The
if
idea is
parents, yeah,
the idea is that if the world sees science as the thing that gives it the ultimate truth, and a child in the Gurukulam is not seeing a difference between spiritual concepts and scientific concepts, they are getting the best of both worlds. Are the parents ready for that?
I think yes, because then the parents have someone who is, because as I said, again, the parents want someone who is academically smart and like high IQ or something, right? And at the same time, they want kids to follow these old school ways of doing things. They want them to follow the traditions. They want them to follow their culture. They want them to pray to God. But then for so many people, they get sucked in down this hole of science, and then everything has to have proof and everything has to work in one certain way, and then they can't follow both. So the parents don't have to compromise now. I
Yeah,
feel that's a
I,
shallow
I
way to see it, but seeing it from the parents' eyes is what I can tell.
not to counter or contest for the point, but this is what it is, right? Science is not developed to a place where spirituality is already in. So, if, for example, we speak about parents being able to communicate and bond with the child even before they have conceived the child. This is what we speak about. And if this is something that the child goes and says to people outside, they're considered crazy. How can you even do this? How can you even talk about things like this, which is not scientifically proven? Because science doesn't have mechanics and means to prove those things yet. Or maybe there are, but it's not a generally accepted concept. If I can, as a child from the Gurukulam, understand this and I can live my life, but if I go and talk about it, my own people around me wouldn't consider me normal.
also, if parents are of a belief that my spirituality is a very personal, private thing, and then tries to tell the child also it's a very personal, private thing, your spirituality and your belief systems, will this be considered of value? Why don't we put it to an audience poll? Is
Yeah.
this for
Yeah, I want to
Gurukulam
say
or
one last thing. We have to understand that just because the child understands something, it doesn't mean that the child is going to talk about it everywhere. One thing we tell our kids is that a lot of the things that you're going to hear in your classes, you are hearing it because you're going through a certain process. You're going through, and you have learned it in a certain way. So some things, don't go and share it with everyone all the time because they haven't gone through these kind of classes.
Irrespective of sharing it, Skanda, they may live that life, right? If they have that awareness that I am an energy being and I can communicate with any other energy being. That's something that we spoke about in, I think, the first day. If they're living their life like that and they understand there's no difference between science and spirituality, this is what it is, would that be considered normal?
would that be
So,
something that a parent wants? Again, let's just go for the audience poll and move on to the next point because
yeah.
we have quite a lot to cover. Yes, audience, please give your reaction on if anyone, whoever supports for, please give a thumbs up.
One, two, three, four, five,
Six.
six. I think we have it.
Yeah, if you get one more, then you get it. Otherwise, it's a draw.
Anybody else? 7.
A lot of people aren't even okay. So
8.
Okay, done. Okay, point yours.
Thank you. Thank you, audience.
Yes, next one.
They won't understand the concept of boring subjects.
I'll give the point now itself.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, I think
Because we picked this point last time. I think, yeah, there's
yeah, it's
no
just
arguing
we
on it.
already spoke
Yes.
about it, and I think no parent would want to hear that chemistry is boring, and they'll be happy to know that child is enjoying all subjects. So that point is completely yours. Next one.
They might seem too good at connecting seemingly unrelated topics.
Oh wow. Okay, I my heart really
Yes.
wants to give this point away as well.
Case is explained with Skanda. So also.
Yes, yes, exactly. Because yesterday, whatever he spoke about play learning, and then when he
Mhm.
started, talking about neuroscience and chemistry and gray matter, and I was like, what all is getting connected? So,
Exactly.
yeah, but we regularly see that in the Gurukulam also. Even if there is in the Sanskrit quarter, they were connecting things with so many other things. When we did the Hindi quarter, they were connecting. So the way these children connect is it's just amazing, and I've not seen any parent have a problem with it in the Gurukulam, and even outside the Gurukulam. I don't know if parents outside the Gurukulam can experience that children connecting unrelated topics, but that's a beginning of how learning through analogy starts. So there's no point I can say against that. Bharajay and Driver, we just have to give this away.
Yeah, exactly, ma'am. Even today's data science, data mining, everything talks about this. It may seem unrelated, but if you make a connection, it's a mine of data that is there. So there's no countering that.
Yeah, learning is not only happening through interdisciplinary ways, but they're communicating also like that. They're bringing this and that and connecting it so seamlessly. So
There was
yeah,
a time when this was called, what was it called? There's a name for it. That it's a little delusional. Um apophenia, the tendency to, connect meaningful connections, random patterns. So yeah, it seems to be a great way to go. Next one. The point is for Gurukulam. They won't get to experience tuition classes.
This will take it.
Okay.
Just take it.
AI not only a sarcasm, sense of humor also it started having, I think. The context which I put was not this. I said these are the 54 things that I want, 108 things that I want for my child. And then I fed in what happened after that and how this curriculum was developed. And then we are having this kind of podcast and which are the best points to put forward to prove the opposition of it. And this is the best that it came out with. This is a point in which I only have to give it away.
yeah, AI was really trying very, very hard. Doesn't even have that many, so its attempts are only beginning to seem weak.
And I was like, this is the context of a present day Indian society that also I put through. And because I had to make it more valid, I also had to put that we are from an urban background. Because for the rest of Bharata, the story is very different. You see, a child, when we go to hospital and we look at the schools, right? And when we are doing Uttishta Bharata and in smaller towns and schools, I realize that more and more children are already rooted to their culture, they're rooted to their religion, they're rooted to their history. They're already having a very, very nice uh, a familial system which is keeping them connected to their roots, and very clearly they're coming to this institution called a school only for their academic training. There's nothing else expected, there's nothing else given, so it seems fair.
Just for one of the things, ma, all the children are coming back and going to school. So they come back after 4 o'clock and they're at home. I don't know what to do with the child. I need to send them to the, I don't want my child to be in front of me because they're not going to the tuition classes. What will I do with them?
But then the
Nothing
child
there.
won't find anything boring also, no? So
No, this is just giving me a idea to start Gurukulam tuitions. No one's doing it, so I can just give that experience to the children to come to tuition class and they won't know the difference. Yeah. So imagine children from 4 5 different Gurukulams coming to an evening Gurukulam tuition class. That would be so cool. Actually, I just want to give this point to you all.
Okay, next.
they might oh, they might think learning is an addictively fun lifelong adventure, not just a 12-year sentence.
Nothing to counter.
Yeah.
I don't think any parent will want to know. Any parent will be against the idea, or will it be? Because
You guys are struggling to counter so much. I'll just join your side so that there's some content for our listeners.
oh, How graceful of you. Shall I give you my points, Skanda, for this?
Sure.
Again, you don't know the generation of people who have been brought up with people, with the adults in the family telling them, you know what, it's just your 10th standard. Finish that 10th exam somehow, you're done in life. Then they told, just do your 12th exam, you're done in life. And you realize that you're never done in life. So first you think school is a place that you're going for 12 years or 10 years and then it'll get done. And that struggle will get done. Then you realize it's only beginning now.
Yeah.
So will parents be okay with children not having that mind?
Yeah. वो done ही नहीं रहेगा. When are they done? If you're a lifelong learner, when will you start things? That is what is the question, right?
Yeah, many people
अभी
think
सीख
that
रहा
when
है,
the
अभी तक
learning
सीख
is
रहा है.
done is when life starts.
Yeah.
But I still would want to give this point because I know that young parents don't want children to have that idea.
Exactly. Okay, so that
Yes, Kanda,
is
that
that.
point is yours.
Next point. Next slide.
Their thinking and problem-solving skills might intimidate adults.
I gave an example for this yesterday or about the AI usage.
Yes. How many adults or parents have it in them, have the courage in them to know that it's difficult to counter your children in their thinking skills?
But उसमें क्या होता है? The only problem is that parent like, how can you be smarter than me? I am the one. I am the elder. I am the parent. I should be the one fixing problems. You cannot think better than me. Could be a conflict that will come. How did
At
you
the same
outsmart
time,
me?
I
at
don't
the
But at
same
the
think
time,
same
it's
time,
this
I'm happy
generation of
inside.
parents.
yeah, they'll be happy
I'm
inside.
happy inside.
Yeah. Parents are usually very happy when their child outsmarts them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then you find some creative ways of grounding that kid, right? Okay, this time you outsmarted me, but don't let it get to your head types. So somewhere I think it pushes you to become better
Yeah. Give
and
them better challenges.
better challenges. Yeah. You have to up your game basically as a parent. If you have a child with that kind of thinking skills, right? Then you have to up your parenting game. And are parents ready for that? We don't know.
Yeah,
But are
do,
they?
because then the child is forms out of good connection. They have respect for their parents, and then they will follow them there also. So it's a win-win for.
Okay, I'll give you the point, but I'll just tell you a small story, okay? Not to get the point, but just to illustrate this. In one of my teacher training journeys, there was one particular teacher. I remember this session. This session was about, in my teacher training journey, this is about, and this is for mainstream schools, how to keep a little bit of balance and harmony in a class. And this I'm doing for preschoolers, okay? So there is this teacher who comes up to me and says, Mirama, I have a small problem. I don't know how to deal with it. And she tells me that there is this one girl in class 7 or 8. My problem is I'm experiencing jealousy for this girl because she's everything that I wanted to be when I was a young child. And it's everything that I want my child to be. So when I'm seeing this child, constantly I'm having a sense of jealousy. How do I deal with this? See the sweetness and the honesty of the questions. Teachers of Bharat are amazing people, right? This community whom we call teachers, they're out there just for the children. I know how dedicated they are. It was so honest of her to come and ask me that question because it's a true emotion. So when a child has something classy, as an adult, is it possible for you to feel a little intimidated? It is. Right? But I don't think anyone voices it, that I'm scared of this kid. So yeah, point is yours anyway. Let's move on. They're getting too much, yeah. We're not getting anything to counter. What is this? Next one.
They might retain what they've learned for life. Why will a parent have a problem with this?
Yeah, why will a parent? Good. I think it's a very good one because there are a lot of parents who tell, I don't even remember what I learned now in 10th
Yeah,
standard.
I don't even know why I learned it.
Why I learned it. Where am I using calculus today? I think that's a very common thing that everyone talks about, right? After exam, yaad bhi nahi hai. Kind of. I know mothers who have to go back and take their 7th standard books and learn once again when they're trying to teach their children at home. And these are graduates and postgraduates. So yeah, a child retaining what they've learned for the rest of their life will be a Happy augury for the parents. So, yes, we have nothing to counter yet again. One more point to you, and please move on.
They might become too creative.
Yes.
How much is too much in this?
Mhm. So when a parent cannot give enough problems to keep the child grounded because they're solving every problem that you're throwing at them, how would you win the battles if they become too creative?
This point has to be ours. This point has to be ours.
I
The
don't think
more
so.
the more creative the kid is, the kind of lies that you hear from them, the kind of stories you have to hear for them, because that's creativity comes out in those things now. That's
Yeah.
where a child brings creativity in how beautifully they can give you excuses, how beautifully they can hide what they've done, how creatively they'll lie to you that they're creative enough to gaslight you if necessary. Right?
Manipulate.
Manipulate. So if is every parent ready for that? That your child can become, I mean, children anyway become that creative. That's true.
Yeah, they generally are like that. All children are generally.
Yeah, I feel all children are that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So we can give that as well. Moving on.
That's ours, right?
No,
No, it's
that's
us.
us.
Because
So,
all children are like
All
that.
children are innately creative with their
okay.
excuses and their lies.
So
They
not
can
just
manipulate.
yeah, they come to the Gurukulam and just become a little more creative about
More,
it.
yeah.
That's
And
it.
they know that they're creative.
Yeah, you see,
Yes.
Bhargav is what, 2 years old now? How old is
Yeah.
Bhargav now?
Yeah. Yeah. Two and a half.
Two and a half, right? He was 2 years old when he told his mother, right? I did not do so. So Hanuman came and did. Please go
Mhm.
to the puja room and ask. It was on the spot creativity. So yeah.
They might choose a career based on a passion and purpose
I'm
instead
giving
of
this one to
talent.
you.
This
Take
point is ours. This point is
it.
ours.
Take it.
No parent
No,
will
no.
be okay with it.
Exactly what? शर्मा जी का बेटा पेंटिंग कर रहा है. Who would like to hear that? He doesn't go to an office.
Hey,
Nah,
what's the R. Madhavan dialogue from Three Idiots?
I don't know.
The camera dialogue, right? The last one. लेकिन मैं खुश रहूंगा or something like that, right? Yeah. That only happens in movies. Anyway, this point is ours. We don't even
Yes.
have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
They might become
Entrepreneur.
entrepreneurs instead of employees.
Half the parents of India will not send the child to a Gurukulam if they know that there is a
Okay.
chance they become an entrepreneur and not an employee.
Here's my counter to that. We earlier spoke about the future of the job market, and we said that entrepreneurship skills are going to be way more important than employee skills, right? So if you're talking about the vast majority of the age group which are going to have jobs in 2040, right? By the time, say, a child anywhere below 10, by the time they become 18, the job market would have already changed, right? And parents will be hearing stories from their friends who train their kids to be employees of the past, and they will be hearing these horror stories about how they're not able to find jobs.
Was that the end of your sentence?
Yeah.
Are you claiming the point?
Yeah, of course.
So a future parent is going to be cool about the child becoming an entrepreneur. Is it true for the parent today?
The parent today in 8 years is gonna see the change anyways.
So we are not asking you what the point of the entire discussion is not if 8 years from now your child needs a Gurukulam. It's right now. Is a Gurukulam education needed for your child?
See, we still keep getting asked questions. What kind of jobs will these kids land? Nobody's asking what kind of things will they do in their life. The question still comes to say, what kind of jobs will they be able to take up after being Gurukulam educated? That's still the question. So nobody thinks of entrepreneurship as something that they can stably rely on, and they still have the fear. Everybody wants to have that comfort of a salary coming in at the end of the month, and
Actually,
they still want. Amma?
yeah. Right. That predictability of salary,
Yeah,
that drug addiction is there.
because we are addicted to it, we want our children also have to have that comfort zone and not be creative and start something that they feel like. That fear factor is there.
Like also for
Fear
like a
factor
parent,
might be
for
there,
But
but
many
they love it
parents,
inside their heart. Oh, if I was not employed, I would have done something.
Hmm.
see,
They have that inside, but they don't want to take the chance.
the statement says they might become entrepreneur. So that's not saying that they are preparing to be one now. The
Correct.
Gurukulam leaves the door
Yeah,
open to
that's
you. What I'm saying is, when they
they
get
might.
to an age where they're going to choose, by that time, parents would have already seen the change in the job market. I can guarantee it
Okay,
because
fine.
I'm seeing it right
Yeah.
now.
See,
We are
they
giving you the point, but then we'll also place our statements, whatever Raiva and Bharatji still have to tell.
Sure.
yeah, go ahead, Trevor.
I was just telling, like, for many parents, education is to make your child future ready, and future ready right now relates equates to
Job
child
ready.
having a job, child having an employment. Like anytime when we see news of unemployment being there, the education system gets blamed. So that's the equation people have in mind. That way, I feel the point should be ours.
Yeah.
But what he's telling is right. The word is might, not that will. They might become entrepreneurs, and that's true from any stream. It's true from a mainstream education schooling system as well. So we leave it at that. But then here's the thing: I've had a very interesting question from a Gurukulam parent who came and asked that, putting my child into the Gurukulam after a few years, I'm thinking, whom will they get married to? Because they, will they match the ideology of somebody who's not from this system? And then I told, okay, wait and watch. And when the first marriage happened in the Sauparnika group, everyone was like, okay, normal things also happen to these children. So if one person from Sauparnika gets employed somewhere, right, this problem will get solved for Leela Gurukulam. Yeah, please move on.
They will have too many practical real world skills.
Let's just give this point to them and move on.
Come on, guys, make it entertaining. Do you want me
We
to
are
counter this point?
self-aware. We
AI
are
seems to be on
self-aware.
We are too self-aware,
Yeah.
and we have disgustingly healthy self-esteem,
Yeah. And we speak
Yes.
our minds.
confidently and
Confident.
respectfully.
Yeah.
But do you want me to try to
No.
No,
No, you
no.
don't do
No,
anything.
no.
Yesterday, you've done enough damage by
You
talking
have
about
done
play
inner
learning
damage.
and
Yeah,
skills and
that's
everything.
it.
Let's not go there again.
You sort of, because our 5-day discussion, no, I don't know where it's going to go because of that one session you give. They might be too good at managing their time and energy and might value work-life balance too much. I think every parent wants that.
Yep.
Yes, point is yours given. Let's move
I,
on.
I just wanted to share something that happened. One of my colleagues, when I took a long break, he's like, is it allowed? Can you do something like that? Are Indian fathers allowed to take a long break?
So really?
Yeah.
Indian fathers are not allowed
Is it
sabbatical.
legal? These are the questions that came. I mean, it was
Is it
humorous, but
legal?
that is what it is rigged to be. Like, you need to be
Yeah.
on the grunt. Yeah.
Awesome. Amazing. Next one.
They might be too good at managing their time and energy and might value work-life balance.
This
This
was
This
is
is
the
the
one that
one.
is.
This is the
This is
one
the one
given,
that.
Nutanma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their resume will be full of projects and skills instead of just marks.
Yeah, at the resume level also, I think parents will be happy with this.
Mm.
If it was without marks, it would have been an issue.
Yeah. This is
Even corporates would love to see this thing. What real experiences have you had, not just academic skills? Because they take somebody in and they train them for 6 months to 1 year to get them ready for what
upskilled.
they're supposed to
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah.
they need practical knowledge.
Including the Ivy Leagues also. There they just diss the marks and they actually accept
Yeah, I'll
your
train you to what it is.
yeah.
So actually, I'll give the point to you all, but it makes me wonder what Leela Gurukulam children's resumes will look like.
I just got that thought.
Did you get the thought as well?
I just got that thought.
Right? Like opened a baby apparel store at the age of 10, conducted teacher training sessions at the age of 11, and those organizations giving them those certifications. My God, what their resume will look like. I think we'll end up creating a batch of people whom many organizations will have to come and fight for to employ.
Mhm.
We should put them up like the cricket team, no? You bid and take types.
They can have a more elaborate LinkedIn page than so many people I know right now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Shouldn't we do that? Is it allowed?
Yeah. I mean, we can create one in their name. Maybe they cannot create their own accounts, but we can
Yeah.
create one for them.
Shouldn't we create that? Because they're doing so many projects.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, next one.
They will be too adaptable, making them immune to the fear of AI taking their jobs.
Okay,
I think
this is
that
a
every parent themselves are having to face
Yeah.
that problem, so they would
or
want
either they're
to make a
facing the
good decision.
problem or they don't have any idea about what this problem is. Or they're completely oblivious of this. In both the cases, a parent influence doesn't make a difference. This is the truth, and therefore you get the point.
Mm.
There's no fight. This is only me
Yes,
sitting here
no fight.
distributing points. Oh, I love this one. They might decide to become a farmer, artist, or philosopher, not seeing money as ultimate goal of life and thus confusing relatives.
Mm.
Give this point to me. It's waiting
Why
to
are
come into
all
my
points so
arms.
extreme? It's either only you can get them or like we can get them. There's no fighting
See,
anymore.
you have to understand it's not a human who has created those points. So there's not going to be any moderation or, it's going to be either this way or that way. But this is confused relatives are, that, oh my God, confusing relatives. Oh, this is
Yeah.
every parent's experience.
Yeah, the father being an IIT rockstar gold medalist and the kid being a farmer, nobody will accept it. अरे बाप को देखो बेटे को देखो क्या कर रहा है.
I'll talk about myself. Father being an extremely successful medical professional, mother being a principal and headmistress of mainstream school education, and the rest is history. Not acceptable. Confused relatives is the only thing I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
I was thinking of that when you were saying that the big companies will come and fight for LG kids. And then the shocker is there that they might even say no to all of them. They might go on. to do
Yeah, yeah.
something organized.
Yeah, and say, I want to grow carrots, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, this point is ours. Next one.
They will be annoyingly good at interviews because they are just being themselves.
Got nothing to say, Bharat. Look at the smile on Bharat's face. The number of interviews you've taken in your life, and then you find somebody coming from this background, it'll blow your mind, right?
The only question that I used to start with is, tell me about yourself. People could not go beyond 1 minute after they are done talking about their academic qualification or the previous job that they were doing.
They'll talk about their name,
Name,
qualification,
yeah, that's it. Tell me about yourself. The other thing that they can go back to is where they were born and which school they went to. You, what is you? Nobody has answers to it.
How can they? Parents have told whole life, don't boast about yourself, no? They've been trained like, don't talk about your call. How many parents are okay if the child walks into a gathering and say, I think I'm a very confident person?
Hmm.
There it's a
Yeah,
hangela
so-
matadbardo is done. Where in an interview you going to?
Actually, I have a story. This was not for a job interview, but I was going to go conduct a talk on behalf of Leela Gurukulam and Leela Bhoomi in
And where's
Malaysia.
this? In the Malaysian conference.
Yeah. So the conference is more about play learning in corporates and in education. So we got an opportunity to go present ourselves. So we had an interview with the person who's organizing the conference. And he started off with, he heard me talk for some time. And the person who introduced me to that, like the way we got linked to this person, he knew I'm young, but he didn't know my age exactly. So 10 minutes into the talk, he just asked and he's like, I'm so sorry. I know this is disrespectful, but can I ask your age? And then I tell my age, and then he spoke to me. That interview, which was supposed to be for 20 minutes, went on to 45 minutes because it converted into a very organic conversation. And at the end of it, he is like, I don't know. Because he's a corporate trainer. And he said, because it matches what you all are talking. I'm into corporates. I see people day in and day out. I don't think somebody can just confidently talk about their work, especially when you're doing something so different for 45 minutes and pull off a conversation with an adult who's on purpose trying to be intimidating to you. So then I realized for me, it was a shocker because I was just talking and just being myself. I'm like, am I confusing this person? Is the interview supposed to be this long? Am I taking too much time? I had all those thoughts running. At the end of it, this happened, and by the time I reached Malaysia, everybody already knew me because of the interview we had. So that was one thing that just came to mind. I think this is something parents and even people will be happy with if people can really pull themselves off in an interview. I'll go to the next one.
Yes, please do.
They won't be defined by their job title. They won't be afraid to change careers multiple times, or they might invent a job that doesn't exist yet.
They this is the first actual talk we'll have in a while.
Sorry, what was that?
This is the first actual talk we can have in a while. It won't just be a free point. So
It is an absolute free point. I don't think any
Yes.
parent has a problem with this. Because most of these things are things that most adults are trapped in.
Yeah. Like what I was just telling, right? If you ask
Mhm.
somebody, if you go interview, I mean, not forget the interviews. If you go meet another person in a casual setting as an adult, the introduction that happens is, I'm so and so, I work in so and so company as so and so,
Mm.
right? I cannot have any other introduction. The maximum that you could go is, I am a parent, I have 2 kids. Right? People are afraid of doing these things. That is something that is a reality.
It's very easy for people to live a financially settled life. You can live very comfortably. You just can't leave your job because you'll get into an identity crisis.
Yes.
So there are many adults, very kind-hearted souls. You don't have to be a big thinker or something. This is something everyone is feeling. The fear
Yeah.
to change a career, the fear to hold on to a job, the predictability of a salary, all of this, and I think they'll be more than happy that the child doesn't go through that, because this is a pain that they are going through. So it's not a free point, it's a free flying point.
Hmm.
The next one, driver.
How many do we have
Just
left?
a second. Yes.
They will have a dangerously strong work ethic derived from self-discipline. Again,
Where does
Dan-
AI get these adjectives
the AI
from?
seems to have
Dangerously strong.
worked
Dangerously
in
strong.
collaboration with us.
I know what, it's taken what I wanted and then done some reverse engineering or something on it.
And I think the Skanda you have influenced AI. I
You
can
know,
imagine
You
you
know how I
talking
was
like
talking
this.
about, how you can buy IQ
IQ.
now?
Yeah.
AI needed to buy my IQ. That's what's happened.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Whoa.
exactly. That's happened. So this point is also yours. Nothing to talk about. Let's move.
Ah,
They will have oh no, we finished that. Sorry. They might become a leader who empowers others, threatening traditional hierarchies.
we have been through leaders already.
We are going to take this. We are going to take
Traditional
this.
hierarchies, yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Traditional hierarchies
Yeah.
are not going to look at this very easily.
Yes.
Except by the time the child comes to that age, a traditional hierarchy won't
Would have
exist.
I am
collapsed.
talking
today-
about
today,
I am
now-
talking about a Manyu and Lahari
Today.
going to a school today, and principal and teachers and management are not getting threatened because they
Yeah.
have to listen to a 10-year-old.
And they'll still ask, where are the adults?
You have experienced that in your batch. You people stood at Swayam and conducted that entire event. Where, how old were you? 11, 12 when you people went on stage and spoke about education. You think traditional hierarchies are not threatened? Are parents ready for that? How many parents would have come and told, whatever you're teaching is fine, but don't put the child on the stage right now? No, they have to take on this, that. What will they think? Will parents be comfortable that your
I
child will
feel
be okay with standing anywhere and going against anybody? And traditional hierarchies might get threatened. What if
I
it's a
feel
religious
I feel
hierarchy?
parents will come to a point where they'll see that this doesn't work. Like most parents are seeing that uh, uh, something, as you said, like a spiritual or uh, 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 religious hierarchy often becomes a cult. Parents are seeing that corporate hierarchies are well, as we have said multiple times, they're going to fail very soon. They're not going to
But
hold up.
Skanda,
As
that's
we are seeing in front
futuristic.
of us, they are failing. So
That's
That's
hope
yes,
for the
even fail.
future. That's hope for the
Yeah,
future. Parents right
and
now
parents aren't going to see these skills in them until the future is already here, anyways.
no, I'm saying, won't parents want to protect their child from a situation where they're leading and empowering people, which is threatening a traditional hierarchy? Wouldn't they want their child to go with the herd? Aren't parents coming from the background of herd mentality? Is this a comfortable situation for them?
The
That
herd
you're sending
itself
your
is
child.
breaking, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's also true, but this point is ours.
No, well, if the herd itself is breaking, and we are teaching the child, like also I want to note that it says might become a leader. So these are not skills that the parents are going to get in a report card. These are
Balaji,
skills that the
yeah,
parents will say much later down line.
So let's just look at what happened in the school event that the children organized, right? For the town people, not the teachers training that our kids did. So there were kids standing in a room and teaching the kids of the city who, I mean, the town who came in. And the teachers felt like they're sitting there. They were not supposed to be allowed to talk to the parents. The children were doing it. Nobody kind of, though they were all proud of it, like I am sitting here as a teacher, but the kid is taking the leadership position here. They are talking to the parents. They are telling what the kid should do or not do. They still had that fear of losing that authority, right? As of today, this is something that's still not widely accepted. A child cannot be seen giving orders to somebody else without the parent standing behind saying, "Hey, this kid is my
A
kid."
leader
Right?
who empowers others and breaks a traditional hierarchy. The whole point is that as a leader, they won't have a corporate system. This isn't saying that they won't affirm to a corporate system. It's saying that the one they build as a leader is going to break it.
You
So I
show
don't
that
think
you
most
show the
people will
sentence.
even know.
You
I don't
show the
think
sentence.
most people will even know that they're being led by a child.
No, Skanda, you give this. I'm not asking you the essence of the sentence. That I know is wonderful. I know the Gurukulam does that. I'm saying if traditional hierarchies are important to the parents to uphold, then Gurukulam is not for your child.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
first-hand experience of it. I don't think it's really welcoming today. When we took up the when we initiated Leela Gurukulam, so many people thought that we are just the front face.
There is a bunch of kids who are not doing, and today you're a bunch of kids who are actually threatening traditional hierarchies, building futures for younger children. So it's right on our face. This point is ours. Let's move on to the next one, driver. This is for the against team. Yay, finally, something. They might take a gap year to explore the world causing.
Skanda, we know there is a word might over there. Don't fight only on that.
Yeah, fight with your might, not the might on the PPT. No, but I would just like to give this.
Yeah, I think young parents today are
Young parents today are very clued in with it. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm now when I'm talking, I'm making a very for all these points. I know it's very futuristic and for parents of today. I know the previous generation parents would have had heart attacks if the child told that. But today, with the global culture becoming more, familiar with people, I think this is something that even parents would like.
Yeah, and it's become something trendy. So that way they have more, they get the point.
Yeah. The next one.
They won't be impressed by authority, only by wisdom.
Oh, I want to grab this one. I want to grab this one because, yeah, a child raised on the Gurukulam is not going to be impressed, even if it is a parent. Your authority of going and telling them that you have to obey me because I am your father or mother goes out of the window. They're only going to be impressed by wisdom. And I've seen that happen with my own eyes. Parents being forced into a position where they have to now grow to be wiser. Yeah, I've seen that. Are parents okay with it? I don't know. Because many parents have told me that of the children that I have mentored in the older batch, parents come. This is the exact same thing that even I am trying to tell them, but they listen to you when you say the same thing. When it comes from you, it means something very different for them. And when I say the same thing to them, it comes very different. It's accepted very differently. And it's just that for them, a person who's living the life of their wisdom is the authority. Automatically, that becomes the authority. So that is something that they see.
Yeah. And also parents want somebody to take the authoritative stand and make them do things because parents cannot do it. मेरा बात नहीं सुन रहा तो college में school में whatever somebody says something they'll at least listen to it. They still want that authoritarian impact or influence on the child. So that is still a demand for it.
We had an experience of a short-term learner at Saupranika, very, very short-term. The child was brought in because the parents felt that the child is going through extreme stress of preparing for the board exams, etc. And they had an issue of the rebellion that the rebel that the child was becoming because of that stress. So they come and keep the child here, and after 3-4 months, but you're not taking an authority and control over this child. I said, yeah, because I don't need to. And then the parent asked me, if this is the case, um, and it's in Hindi, okay, so it's very nice. अगर ऐसा चलेगा तो हमारी बात कैसे सुनेगी? आप कब ठीक करके वापस लौटाओगे? So I was like, I am not a mechanic shop where you come and park your child and then the child becomes something else and comes back to you. It's up to you whether, your wisdom is growing, and if you're able to express that to your child. So if the parent does a parent today want this?
No, it can make them uncomfortable. So
आजकल भी चलता है
Then
ना,
there's a
listen to
difference
me, I'll
between
put you into a boarding school. It's still there.
It's still there. Yeah, but let's hear what Skanda has to say about it.
I think one thing we need to know is that just because they're not impressed, that doesn't mean that they're not gonna listen to what the parent says, because that's something in the curriculum. Like kids will come to me and like they'll come to ma, and like even my own batchmates from when we were in class, we used to share about what's happening at home, and how we don't think, like how we are not happy with something our parents might have told us, because sometimes there was no, it could sometimes be against what we learned in our classes, right? And not once did any of us say, "Oh yeah, just go and shout at them, and just go and be like, oh, you don't know anything, you're not wise." No, it's, hey, at the end of the day, they're still your parents. So like we find this ground where the parents are happy and the parents don't feel offended, but at the same time, the child gets to like do the best to salvage and to make sure that the child is not losing out on their learning, right? So I don't think that this necessarily means that the parents will feel a threat, because even when we have had it in the past, we have dealt with it in a way that the parents didn't get mad that, oh, my child is not hearing me. Instead, what's
So
happened
Mary,
is
you just gave away the point. We had to deal with it. Doesn't that prove the point?
we'll have to deal with parents' nonsense anyways.
You also have to understand something, Skanda, deep inside the parent's heart. We always know when our child is not impressed by us, and there is a need to impress your child, because being a parent is your primary personality. All of the personalities that you have springs from that parenting personality. So in that parenting personality, if my parenting personality is not impressing the person who is the reason for me to become a parent, I become a failure everywhere. And that's something every parent knows. You can be most successful materially, but at home, if you have a child whom you couldn't raise to what you wished, you feel like a failure. It just completely breaks you into pieces.
I mean, yeah, in that case, yeah, I'll hand it to you.
Yeah.
that's why I said it can be a very, very uncomfortable
Very
position.
uncomfortable, but very, very uncomfortable, because it's also emotional. It's very
Yeah.
emotional. That the first personality a human being ever builds around adolescence, that first personality is a personality that gets prepared for parenting. That's why at the Gurukulam we teach parenting to teenagers. So what happens is that when a child comes into your life, with your child, the personality that you have is the closest one to your individuality, to who you are, to you as a self. And if that doesn't get its recognition or appreciation, there is a deep sense of humiliation that comes into the parent.
Yeah.
And the parent child relationship does not thrive after that. There are parents who have asked me, why do my children don't come back and discuss their life or ask me for some advice or guidance? And because the parent is really really wanting to be in that position when they can express their wisdom, and that wisdom makes some meaning or some application in the child's life. It's a very basic instinct of being a parent, to be a spirit nourishment also. But do they take the trouble to grow themselves to that wisdom? Not
Yeah,
sure.
that is the
Yeah,
catch.
because they also are not coming from that kind of education about life,
Mhm.
right? Sanatana parenting is a completely different definition altogether. So on that note, can we stop the session now, or do we continue it? How many points are we down, driver?
I have to count, ma.
Yes.
So we
Last
have
time.
come to the point where we are 53 against and 54, and we have 10 more slides, which is 5 more points for grabs. Any team that gets one more point, that is 2 slides, takes it away, unless we go into a situation of a draw and talk about it. Let's see where we head to.
Okay.
So the last point, yeah.
They will have a global perspective while being deeply rooted in their culture.
Do you want to argue for this, or should I just not even start the clock? Because this is easily asked.
Yeah, you just give the points.
Every parent wants their child to, like, oh, find a job out of India, abroad, go to these big corps, but at the same time be an Indian.
Mm.
Yeah, that is.
It's fine.
I'm
It's fine. Let it happen.
yours.
Let
Okay,
it
yours.
Yeah,
happen.
because we'll say know your roots. Know your roots is always something that we thrive for. Yeah, okay. That made it easy.
That's very easy for all the parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong start, so that's 50.5. Let's go.
Stop counting.
The route can also be just knowing one shloka, but yeah.
Reva, let it happen. You will have to
My
answer a
daughter
lot
chants
of
the entire.
questions from confused relatives.
Yes,
Um,
problem. That point should come to us. You will have to answer a lot of questions from confused relatives.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Mm.
First of all, not going to the functions with the kids starts from there. I mean, if you're looking at it that way.
Nutan Mas
Actually, first
was so self-accepting.
Yeah, which class is your kid in? You can't answer that. What?
Yeah, you.
what are
We
they
will take
learning?
it.
How does the assessment happen?
Yeah. How
Mm.
many marks did they get? What kind of higher studies are they going to go into? What kind of job will it? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Let's make it
See,
easy.
Done. Awesome. Half point for us. Ha ha ha.
no,
Yeah, we
oh
know
wait,
that.
we
Yeah.
have 2 minutes, right? Yeah, we have 2 minutes.
We done. We finished it in
No,
30
no,
seconds.
we have
No
2 minutes.
point,
We have
yes,
2 minutes.
Kanna. There is.
You didn't start the timer. You lose it.
See, you didn't. You put the entire thing on me. You should allow some mistakes. See,
Just go on to the next one.
Yeah.
wow, this is unsportsmanlike conduct.
You'll have to find new things to worry about because they'll be so self-sufficient. You can just give it to us.
Oh my God.
You want me to start the timer or?
No, it's ask Kanna.
See,
It's
as a
no
parent,
problem.
it is difficult to find new stuff to do because we have always been
is-
doing this.
Oh, you can go have one more baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just too difficult. Okay, but yeah, we can give them a point.
Mm.
Yeah. Next. Happy Skanda. Smile. You're
I'm
on.
focused.
They will be able to sit in silence without getting bored and have to be and have an annoyingly positive outlook on life.
Okay, annoyingly is not the right word there. I don't agree with this statement. I don't even think it's a true statement to begin with. We don't teach people to be happy about everything. So I would honestly take out the second part of the statement because the AI has not gotten the sense of what we stand for. It's not about having a positive outlook on life. It's about, in some place, like, I guess
Let-
positive outlook means
Let's
looking
take the
at
first
it
part of the
in,
sentence. Let's just
yeah,
consider the first part of the sentence because there is some machine error that you have to allow when you use AI. Okay.
They will be able to
So-
sit in silence without getting bored.
Yeah, I don't see why any parent will also have a problem with this. So
Yeah, man. As long as they let me watch TV and
yeah,
not call me to play with them.
precisely.
pointers.
It can
Because-
also be, are you sad? Why are you so down? Why not being active? Why not
Yeah,
doing
but
something?
the
Why not just
Gurukulam
sitting
allows you to
silently?
talk. So they'll be able to convey to their parents that they're
Yeah,
fine.
they'll be able to communicate or creatively lie.
We
or-
give them those tools too.
But Gurukulam gives a lot of things till the parent also finds it difficult at times.
No, we have toddlers with no tantrums at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
first-hand
That-
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we can't say anything.
Okay,
Okay.
point us.
Yeah, point.
Oh,
The definition of success for your family might change completely, and your social circle might change to include more interesting, like-minded people.
So I'll address the second part of that first. Being a part of other curriculum, of course, means that you'll get. Oh wait, the old time is still on. I'll start the new time. Being a part of other curriculum will, of course, lead you to make friends with people, with other people who are also in the which are going to be like-minded people, and that is not a bad thing in any way, because I feel the community we have in our parents and in our families, which have gone on to talk about in the past, is something that we are very happy with, right? These are people who just genuinely they gel very well. They're not having to force anything just because of a common point of interest, right? The first one, I don't think it really changes the definition of success, but what it will do is it might help you reach that success so fast that you find a new one, right? Like once you have reached the end of your journey, you can find something new to look forward to, right?
I think the main thing over here is the social circle being changed.
I don't think it needs to be
Like-minded
changed.
people.
I think it can be. I think it gets expanded because you meet people who are also parents, and you meet people who are into education. So, if anything, it makes you make friends even when you're grown adult. Something which I've heard many people say is very hard to do, right?
And this happens very organically, on its own, and it's not even um, it's not uprooting them from anything. So this is an organic change which is welcomed, actually.
If at all I give the point to the team, I would only give it for the first part. Definition of success changes. I've seen that every parent in their heart silently feels that they've been a successful parent by putting their child into the Gurukulam. And somehow for their own personal journey, also success starts meaning, life itself starts meaning something very different.
So we get the point.
Yeah.
Bharat, do they get the point?
for the first
I mean,
point
time's up.
of the
We
definition of
couldn't
what you
really make
said,
any.
you'll get a new definition of success, I think.
Yeah, they take the point.
Okay.
Next one, Raiva.
They will know more
Oh,
about
God.
Indian heritage than you do and might start teaching you things about life.
Did we just lose it?
I think we are losing it because this point straight off goes to the Gurukulam team.
Oh God, I'm so stressed. Okay, let's go.
Well, what's happening? How many slides left and where are we
We,
right
we
now?
got we got one or two in this
No,
round,
you
right?
got one.
I
One.
don't
We
know.
got one.
But one.
We
So
got
we are
everything
at
else.
we are at 53.5 and they are at
Then it should be 54.5 in that case.
Audience also is keeping
We
track.
are in, we are in 54.5.
No,
If we
we
take
are
this
at
point,
50.
let's say, let's wait, what are they doing this with this slide? They will know more about Indian heritage than you do. True, because we never learned it. And might start teaching you things about life.
which you yourself
We
have
did learn it.
you yourself spoke about
Mm.
it with the AI example of your office yesterday. So we have to give this point to them.
Okay.
And just one
Next
more thing that
slide.
happened a couple of days back. I was talking to my 3-year-old daughter. Just like one thing that was happening, something we heard on TV. So, what is life? She says, life is me.
Oh.
She said, "Life is me."
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Whatever she meant. But a 3-year-old saying stuff like that.
So this point is theirs. We have 4 slides left, I guess, Raiva.
Think I'm not sure.
2 points
And
more.
I'm not keeping points, that's fine.
They will value self-learning experiences over possessions with a strong sense of identity and belonging. I don't see any reason where a parent would say, no, I want my child to be more attached to material possessions. No parent that I know has ever thought that way. if they value self-learning experiences more, the parent might not understand what that means, but strong sense of identity and belonging is definitely something that every parent would appreciate. I don't know where this is. Anyone else in my team has a counter for this?
It's a mix of both, Max. There is one place where we have to have that sense of identity and belonging. That is what makes my definition complete. But at the same time, you're still yearning for the self-learning experiences, and I value it more than somebody taught me this. But what I learned is what I am applying. Also happens.
It's going all over the place now, what you're talking.
Yeah, but this is a mix of both the things here. Huh?
Valuing self-learning experiences over possessions. That's one part of the statement.
Yeah.
Matlab material that they possess.
Okay. I got the sentence wrong.
Yeah.
Point hours.
Moving on.
Why point yours?
Towards the end, no? You as a parent will...
Skanda.
Please move on. Move to the next slide, please.
Next slide. You will have a deeper, more meaningful relationship with your child. Point hours.
Okay, don't even try in this one.
Yeah,
Just go
let's
next.
just go to the next slide. They will develop an unbreakable lifelong bond with the divinity within them and in the universe.
This is a place where you guys took the point initially, I think day 1, day 2, when we're talking about nature and universal connections.
We did. So,
Don't
we've
let-
already gotten the point at the same principle. We
Yeah.
must get it here. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
it's injustice to the spirit.
Did you consider law as a profession, Skanda?
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Oh, this is...
Your child will be genuinely, uncomplicatedly happy. And what's the fun
Oh
in that?
no, my child's gonna be happy. How could this be?
Thank you, AI.
See, me is identifying myself as a happiness provider for my children. That identity will be gone away from my CV. When I go to the after saying, what did you do? What have you come here for? That one thing will be gone for me.
And that happy child need not be laughing and jumping and dancing all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
And will a parent identify? I mean, I don't know what. Okay. Yeah, there's no fun in that, being a parent, right?
Yeah, exactly.
My child is apne aap mein khush hai. Then what do I do? Nah, I don't
You
think
wanna
there's any
fight for
parent.
this point?
No, I can't, because I can't think of any parent in this world who would say, don't want my
I
child
don't
to
want
be
a happy
happy.
child, yeah.
If there's a system that ensures happiness in my child, I don't want that system. I can't think of one parent who will say that. They might come and ask, how are you creating happiness? I have never experienced that as a child. And then we have to go back to the point we spoke about what spiritual content does to a child and what spiritual content does to an adult. For a child, it's pure happiness that it gives. So they might ask me to prove how the Gurukulam can make a child happy. And an
Talk to
adult
the
mind,
students you already have.
and the adult mind is a very, very conditioned to understand that any self-learning experience is the happiest condition for a human being, and children naturally take into it through spiritual content. If that one point a parent could understand, if that one point a parent could get, all Gurukulams would be full. And every lane and every road in this country would have Gurukulams if just this one point could get through to a parent. Yeah, so unwillingly giving this point, but next slide, driver.
That's the last.
That's it,
That's
ma'am.
the last one.
That's the last.
Okay, that's the last one.
Victory!
So everyone who is in
Please
this,
stop sharing, Rama.
everyone hearing this, you now have to join the Gurukulam. You don't have a choice anymore.
Yes.
You're legally obligated to.
So you are
I'm a
55.
lawyer.
What, that closer?
Now, how much is it? What is the total?
No, we got 9, so that's
I want
50 plus.
reval. What is? I want to
That's
apply for
The
revaluation.
audience can please put it in the chat. You've been
That's-
keeping
We've
track.
opened the chat. We
Wait.
have to go for a revaluation if there's anything like.
Yeah.
I
I
find
know.
according
Yeah,
to my
the
count,
rough
it should be
They got only
54.5.
1
That's
point.
53.5.
5.5 is what we got.
Golji?
Yeah, 5.5 and 21.5.
So 54.5 is what they are at, which means 55. We lose by half a point. That's a shame.
With the lead we took in day one. Oh no, this is like.
I had faith. I learned
Hey, I
that
was
also
on
in
your
the
side.
Gurukulam.
Too.
No. Rather tough luck. You need to admit a lot of children, but
Wow.
half a
Hmm.
point. Can we go
What a
back to the slide and see which?
No, just imagine half, but the other half is still there. So imagine like kids with that. Yeah, I need luck. Thank you.
I think the very fact that it's such a close competition and like the numbers, the number game itself shows that this is just a half point variant, no, that we have.
Seriously, what are the scores? Final scores?
They're 54.5 and we are 53.5.
What nonsense! Half pointer from draw.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Thus, my point is that the Gurukulam method is not for your child.
Why?
You just take the 54 points that we have and think about it twice, it becomes 108.
Think about our points twice, it becomes 109.
No, they'll think about it only half the time.
How?
They'll only give a half thought to it. It's something new. So it'll go down to 27 anyway. Okay, that's that. And I think if anybody has any questions about whatever we have done so far.
Now you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, if the match was so close and the audience is really quiet, we know what it means.
It just puts the onus on the parents, really.
Yeah, so I really don't know who was in the for team and who was in the against team. I'm hoping there was somebody on my team. But yesterday, the way the votes went to Skanda, right? I was like, when I saw some names, I was like, you too, Brutus, I almost went like that. So we are back at 8 o'clock with our celebration then,
Yes.
right? And shall we make it 8?
Yeah.
8 o'clock for the celebration. And our celebration, we thought, is us telling the world, if you are really thinking about a Gurukulam for your child, then how do you know? Because you just can't go by what's the name and what's the board put out of the building or something like that, right? How do you know that it's actually the Gurukulam methodology that somebody is following?
Mm.
And how do you actually know that what you've chosen is a Gurukulam? That's one. And the second part of the celebration is, does a Gurukulam methodology only be facilitated, or is it designed in such a way that it can only be facilitated in a particular building, or where else can it be? How many places do we really find the Gurukulam methodology such that we can use that place or use that facility for our growth and learning? Yeah, one thing definitely came out though is something that Skanda just shared with me, and I think it's brilliant. I would like to hear it in his voice. He said we should make this 108 reasons that the Gurukulam is not for your child, comma. Do you want to complete that sentence, Skanda?
Yeah, I don't remember
Just
what
complete the
context I
sentence.
said.
whichever
I
context
said
it was.
I said
108 reasons.
108, like in the end, it should be 108 since the Gurukulam is not for your child, it's for you, it's for the parent.
Yeah. So with that, I think we conclude the session today. We meet at 8 o'clock for the finale.
Yeah. See you everyone at 8 o'clock.